Let's give a round of applause to Suicidal Wrestling Clash. We did a lot of cool shit in just a couple of years, and we're going to start off talking tonight about the first 6 episodes of Ground Zero and Backyard Supremacy 1. Backyard Supremacy 1 was a great time, and everybody here wrestled at least once over the course of the 3 days, so let's just run through and say hi to everybody real quick. Of course, I know somebody's a little cranky with me because he watched episode 3, and...
A-Team.
And I called Ed and Quinn the A-Team.
B-Team?
But there's something to be said about being a good captain, right? You got to pump up your boys, and JP was a little bit salty, so tonight, it doesn't matter. Whatever team JP's on is the A-plus team. So
it's the C team. C for champ.
Let's give it up for the champ, huh? How you doing, bud? You doing
good? Good, man. Where are my cookies?
Oh, C is also for cookies.
There's no way it won't happen.
But
I haven't even asked, and I know it's going to happen.
Love that.
He was on last episode.
Episode 3 was maybe recorded before cookies. Anyway.
Honestly.
Yeah, we did time travel.
Didn't even get cookies.
That was my mouse that I need to pick up here in a minute. But we'll worry about that in a second. To the right of the champ, we have our producer extraordinaire, the prettiest cat in all of Mexico. We have Dominic.
Hi, hola, because I'm from Mexico.
How are you, bud?
Good, I'm doing good. Had a fun day at work today.
Just got back from a little vacation trip, huh?
Yeah, traveled around the world.
Took a
and
lot
by
of
the
pictures.
world, the Northeast.
Where were you? I saw your pictures.
New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Connecticut.
That's where I saw the pictures.
Massachusetts.
Yes.
Rhode Island.
You just did all of...
That's all of them.
New England, the whole New England territory.
Yeah.
I feel like I just saw him 2 days ago, and he went to 9 states.
I did.
Well, those are a joke of states.
It was
like, they're about as big as Munhall.
Yes.
It was just a road trip.
Rhode Island, like, when you zoom in on it, like, on a map, like, you have to stop at some point. Like, you still see all
There's
of
only
Rhode
one
Island.
road on the whole island.
It's little.
To the right of him, we have returning... Not only is he returning to the podcast, but he'll be returning to Backyard Wrestling in tonight's episode. We have...
Spoiler warning.
Focla Phoenix. How are you?
Hello, I'm great.
Any surgeries before
I was
this
gonna
episode?
say, it's so funny. I was thinking about that. No, thankfully. I did kind of tweak my thumb a little bit. I'm like, they're going to ask if I got surgery. But I don't think I need surgery. I found this while looking for the stuff that I found. I was like, oh, that'd be great if I could find this. And sure enough, it was in a box. I was like, perfect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect.
Speaking of stuff you found, how about that shirt? Holy hell, that's disgusting,
we'll
bro.
have to talk about that later.
We'll get into that a little more later. And to the left of me and the right of him, we have the person that everybody watched episode 3 for, got all the positive feedback. He's the first one of us that went viral, got 1,200 views in the first 25 minutes that his fucking clip was out there. And for whatever reason, I say fuck every time I talk to this guy. We have Ed Anderson. How are you, bud?
Hello, I'm good.
I guess I did build the hype a little too much for you to be able to do anything off of that. Anything fun happened this week?
Not really.
No,
worked, shitty stuff.
Rabbit sitting for the parents tonight?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would have a rabbit.
My mom has a rabbit.
What type?
It's a Martine.
There's types of rabbits.
Yeah,
I think so.
I didn't know that until when I worked at Petco. This woman had this huge rabbit. But go on.
And I'm Rick. I'm Rick, sick Rick, the kid with the hot bars. And this is all we can fit in this fucking room. Like we're at the point right now where I'm not even sure if
Yeah, one more.
I don't know if we could fit another one. I think
Definitely fit cookies in here.
we could fit cookies, but we could not fit another person.
Hey, actually, leave that up for a second.
Okay.
And just zoom out. I want to see what those mic levels look like. You can cut this part.
Surprise!
Oh wait, I guess you can't. Whoa!
Out of here.
What's going
How you
on?
doing?
Oh, snap.
Been hiding in the basement for over an hour. Good to know. If I ever decide
What-
to start verbally with you,
Were these
I
the
have a really
plans?
good shot with everyone in the room.
Were these the plans you were telling me
These are the
about?
plans I
son
was
of a
telling
Fucking
you.
asshole.
Sure was.
I ran into him a
Dude.
week ago.
That's fucking awesome.
We got a check coming.
I didn't even know you was
We
in
could
Pittsburgh.
not possibly fit another person in this room.
Was that your cue?
And Danielle comes in with a chair.
Wow.
There will be fucking cookies. Let's
It's
go.
probably gonna go here.
Yep.
Dude, I would love that, actually.
Yep.
Wait, should I slide this way?
It doesn't matter.
All right. All right.
Good to see you too.
All right, we're back live. Everybody's still recording. We're good.
Yeah, we're good
Turns
to
out
go.
there is room for one more in here. Look who showed up.
Chairs. Who cares? Probably E. Shout out.
So one thing we're gonna do is make sure that he doesn't get in our camera. No, you're straight right now, but we're just gonna keep an eye on that.
I'm too wide.
You're buff as shit, dude. In fact, I'm about to kick you out because you're making us all look bad.
That was the intention. I've been training for 14 years for this moment.
Love to hear it. So you walked here from LA just for this episode.
Yeah, I'm just passing through.
Yeah, right. Well, we appreciate you stopping here to deal with us peasants while we decide to talk about what we did when we were
Give me
kids.
my phone. I gotta take a selfie with you.
Hey, wait, that can wait.
I've waited for an hour and a half. You can wait 2 more seconds.
Podcast this, motherfucker.
Me and Ed have been sitting over here like we're so impatient.
Did you play the Nintendos down there?
Meanwhile, I don't know how you've been here since before 4 o'clock, holding it down.
Wait, so who all knew?
Who knew
set
for a
this
fact?
up? Yeah.
Me.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you knew he was
Rick.
here the whole time?
Yes.
That's funny.
Yeah, Ed doesn't know.
You didn't know either. That's
Danielle knew for like the last hour because she's been standing at the bottom of the steps making sure whoever went down was either me or tell Josh to
I
do
flew down the
stuff.
steps the second time.
How long?
And
Wait.
then, because you kind of beat me down the steps, I was trying to match your pattern, and I kind of jumped and slipped.
Did you like watch TV down there, play video games?
No, I was hiding in the corner behind the furnace.
So you were in the basement.
Basement
Well,
cuts, motherfucker. Whoop, 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 whoop. That was last episode. We're not allowed to do that anymore. All right, so Josh is here. Josh, who were you in wrestling? What was your wrestling name?
My name was Little J.
Little J forever?
Forever and ever. And then I think I went by my Gudnit name for a minute.
For like SCAW, right? Yeah. Joshua Todd.
For a day.
Yeah.
And then I was worthless.
Yeah.
No,
But you-
and then was
you
I
weren't worthless.
was I Average Joe after that?
After that, yeah.
After that. That was in Indiana, was it not?
That was,
I think
yeah.
it was like on the fly.
It was after you wrestled FX, or before you wrestled FX. One of those two.
Oh, is that where that happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
But so you had 4 different names as you went. Ended with AJ Todd. That's my favorite one.
Change with the wind, baby.
Fucking, you were there for ETW.
You were
did
also
all that stuff.
mercenary.
I was the mercenary. That's right. I forgot about that fella.
You
I was
and the-
Juggalo.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
pull the wool back now. Finally.
Yeah, let
Cat's
everybody
out
know.
of the bag.
Yeah, that's true. You were Juggalo. Because I
was.
questioned the whole mercenary thing. I was like, mercenary was a real Josh character.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Juggalo
that
was
to
a.
do my heel turn.
Yeah, okay.
Juggalo was like a
I'll do
super
another
female.
one.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
It's whoever. So you ran ETW with Dominic. You guys were in charge for that whole thing.
Yep.
We talked about that episode 1.
Ran into the ground. Mhm.
Episode 2, we
True.
talked about the base where it was at your house. All that stuff was at your house. So, like, you being a part of this right now is almost like you should have been here from the start, right?
I should have been.
Some people don't take you seriously when you offer to buy plane tickets, though. So, yeah, it just is what it is.
What can you do?
You can try to do it over. You could try to do it better, but you can never get those times back. And that's why we're here to talk about them,
That's why
right?
we're here. We're queer. Let's get on with it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm loving this right now. This is pretty fucking awesome. We got all of us together to
We need
talk
Quinn.
about. Yes. Yes.
So in 2009.
Episodes. Ground Zero.
Ground Zero.
what I was
Yes.
thinking of.
As Ground Zero was starting, I was already in contact with pretty much all of yins, right? So Steve was in contact with me, and I think you even might have helped me come up with the name Ground Zero.
I came up with the name because
Yeah.
I remember you asked me. You were kind of like
Right.
kind of vamping, having like a thing, and you were telling me about it, and I actually misunderstood what you needed help with. I thought you were looking for like how TNA had like the Asylum or like whatever it was called,
Like the Impact Zone.
That's
Yeah.
yeah. I thought you wanted to name the area where the base was, and I was like, Ground Zero, I guess, and you were like, ooh.
Ooh, baby.
I didn't realize that was the name of the show.
This is the most stone cold dude I've ever seen. Look at that.
That's not Stone Cold. That's Hack Edgerman.
All right.
But
Also-
that's PYS.
Rick,
Okay.
I'm glad you cut your hair off, man.
Bro,
Amen
no,
to that.
so listen, for that time,
were
it
handsome.
fucking sucked, but it got better through the year
It's
and a half
that long
that
but
followed.
short stage, right? It's too long to be
Yeah,
short. Too
right,
short to be
exactly.
long.
And there's nothing I can do about it but let it grow.
That was definitely the better look
Yeah.
out
That's
of
kind of
the.
where I was too.
Right.
Fucking perfect
Yeah, Josh
posture.
kind of looks like a middle-aged woman. And
I still do.
SM Todd, Soccer Mom Todd.
in a good way, though. Yeah.
So you guys are coming back to wrestle, all of you, even the 2 pros and the 2 Joes. We're all doing this. We're back together and we're doing SWC. We're going to build up to Backyard Supremacy with this show that we have just starting called Ground Zero. And we're going to start this whole little podcast talking, watching, doing Ground Zero episode 1.
Yeah, man.
No, I remember we had reached out to one another. Maybe I reached out to you about this because, like, somebody mentioned whenever, like, somebody, I think maybe Jimmy P was going on, like, kind of like talking smack at me on the board, and someone like, this is this is the dumbest thing ever. And I was like, it's not. And I was like, I would never. Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Look at that mohawk.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
I forgot about that.
It's the mohawk.
I was kind of in like a rough place in my life, and I was like, I needed something to do to get my mind off of things, and I was like, well, I wasn't training because I couldn't like afford it, and I was like, maybe I'll just start backyarding again. Like I don't give it, you know.
Yeah, right.
Why does that guy have no arms?
Because
what the fuck?
Boom.
How'd that feel?
I forgot about that. It felt pretty
garbage.
good.
So this is the first ever episode?
This is the first episode.
Sorry,
of
I'm
Ground
late to the
Zero.
party.
This is the main event of it. So we're whenever we get, yeah.
I don't think I knew you when you had the mohawk.
He only did it a couple times. He never kept it.
Good choice.
Yeah, rare occasion. Special match.
So here we go. Quinn just won the title, and then it gets immediately taken off of him, just like fucking Mad Dog did.
Hate when that happens.
So the funny thing about this is Steve was watching our shows at the time, and then we had a storyline planned where Steve was going to come back from the to get the title. You know, essentially was going to be the end of the storyline, and Ed decides I'm going to drop the belt to Quinn, and then Quinn's going to immediately drop it to Jimmy P. And Steve's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, I laid out the whole storyline I want to do, and you find a way to fuck it all up in one episode.
This was all my idea, right? Yeah. Because Quinn's like was never there.
I remember like watching it, like you didn't tell me, like because like everything's set in motion, like it's already named Ground Zero, so we're already like talking about what we're gonna do. And we had pitched it. Okay, well let's just bring back CTK and then expand on that. And I was like, well Quinn was in that, so let's just bring him back. And then the motivation can be, well I left trying to kill the company, winning the title, so that'll just be the same motivation again. You guys are still going.
Makes sense, yeah.
So that when Quinn, the idea was we were actually collaborating behind the scenes. Like, hey, all right, this is back. Okay, well, Quinn, win that title and kill the company, and I won't have to come back.
Right.
And then watching it without you guys telling me what was going on, I was like, well, I guess I'm not coming back to wrestling then. There goes my motivation.
Right, I feel you. That makes sense. And then you were like, can we do anything about this? And we're like, yeah, we'll figure it out. At the end of that little thing there, whenever Ed screwjobbed Quinn, they ended up, Quinn was like, you're saying I don't have passion. I do have passion. I want to fight you in a light tube match, right?
Yes.
And was that your idea also? You're like, we're going to do this and then light tubes?
I just remember really wanting to do the most fucking insane death match I could possibly do.
Yeah. And you figured why not do it with Quinn? You're in the middle of that shit. Quinn will go hard with you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what we're going to watch here. We're going to go really hard on the watch-along part of this one and just enjoy Ed and Quinn murdering each other. So this is the end. That's Jimmy P.
Who's that? The bald guy?
Yeah,
My
who's
friend
the bald guy?
Settle.
That handsome soldier?
He was there.
That's Lil Ryder.
Wait, that was him?
Is that who that is?
I don't think Lil Ryder was at this show.
He wasn't that tall.
Yes, exactly. That's that Big Ryder.
What the fuck
Big
was that
Ryder.
guy? A big rider.
I just want everyone to appreciate that Ed wore these socks today.
Shut the fuck up.
Lift that pant leg up. Lift that pant leg up.
Wait, that's the same socks?
They're the same exact socks.
Damn, I can't get a pair of socks to get through a couple years. That's impressive.
Can't last 2 days.
So me and Quinn were beefing at this time, and he came out and saved me right before the match, and he's like, you know what, I let you pick the stipulation, and if I'm going to leave if I don't win this match, so I want to pick my special guest referee, so he chose me, even though we just reconciled 5 seconds beforehand.
Wait, he was going to quit wrestling if he lost this match.
You told him he had to. That was part of the stipulation. You said, if I beat you, you're not allowed around here anymore.
Oh,
because
shit.
you were so mad at him for not showing up that you didn't want him to show
Oh,
up.
fuck, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Dude, I'm pretty sure this is the first time I've ever seen this.
Well, you'll enjoy it. Boom!
Oh, jeez. Is this a re-edit or is this the original?
This is the original edit. I might have cut like a couple slow points out just to get us through, but it's pretty much just the
That
original.
headshot hurt like a motherfucker. I remember that.
One of the things that I love about hardcore, oh, what a sicko.
Yeah.
One of the things that I love about hardcore wrestling and deathmatch wrestling, even to this day on the backyard and indie circuit, is like people kill each other with weapons, but yet they pull their punches. And I think that is the funniest thing. Like, they don't want to commit to it because they don't want to hurt someone. But unless you have a light tube, then I'm killing you.
They just kept making this pile of glass in the middle of the ring bigger and bigger and just kept bumping into it.
See, I feel like this is where, like, this was one of Quinn's things, though. Like, he really got into the death match.
This was Quinn's best match ever. It's not even close how much better this is than everything else he did.
If this is the stuff that excites you guys and makes you happy, I can only imagine your sex life. Good Lord.
I don't think Quinn bled very much in this match either. You were a bloody mess.
Yeah, I was
is
all
frightening.
fucked up.
That kick was that's the best indie
Yeah, how
kick
do you
ever,
avoid-
ninja kick ever. Wow.
Yeah, I'm so glad that ninja kick worked out.
This
I was-
one's funny.
Yeah, this
It's
is
like
pretty.
cartwheel, backflip, Quinn's gone for half an hour.
Why didn't somebody say something?
It was so sloppy.
Do it!
It seemed a lot better in my head when I thought about this.
Did I-
That was on Quinn. His timing was off.
shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
this
It's a very unique
this
ladder.
hurts so fucking bad.
Oh, I can imagine.
looks like
My
it hurts.
goodness.
I don't think I could be in a death match not because of me bleeding. I wouldn't want to wrestle someone that's bleeding like that.
We literally
That's fair.
had a match
That's
where
definitely
I bled.
fair.
That was the point.
I talk about it all the time. I hated every second of that.
Damn.
But we'll save that conversation for another day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Meanwhile, Quinn Carnage is licking off the blood of his opponent.
Right.
That was supposed to be a moonsault double knee.
Right.
It just didn't turn out very good. Yeah, that.
Holy sh!
And your backflips are so weird looking. I love them. Like, you kind of like, there's like 3 frames missing.
Yeah, they were definitely unique to say the
so cool.
least.
He just looks like a crash test.
I love
dummy.
this random like
his
actual
limbs go
wrestling
numb.
spot in this.
So good. Quinn taking a destroyer in the pile of glass.
Yeah, he took that like a fucking champ.
So here's the funny thing. So they're like, all right, well, apparently we can't beat each other in the ring. So let's go out to the apartment complex to finish this match.
As you
Yeah,
do.
that'll look good for the neighbors.
Especially when Jimmy P's on camera back here, like, I'm not going out there, guys. I'm staying back here. Like, just get. And he's like, no, you have to. Like, we need the camera out here.
Well, I figured like all the fucking OGs took a concrete bump, so I was
Right.
like, I gotta fucking take a concrete bump.
I love it for you.
I remember this part.
Yeah.
Fun fact about this is talking about the future. Whenever the cops got called on us for one big super show.
Yeah. Boom.
Oh man!
With all the glass.
There was
all over
people
his back.
walking around freaking the fuck out,
Yeah, there
like
was a
causing a
lady-
scene. We had to run after this.
Yeah, there was a lady that came past like, you guys are fucking idiots. I'm calling the cops right
Yeah.
now. And we
For
bounced.
what?
This should have been on like
For
the sales package.
Choosing to hurt each other,
apartment.
like on purpose. What's a cop
Yep.
gonna do?
So that was the end of Ground Zero 3, and Quinn gets to stay because he beat Ed. And that is pretty much the end of Quinn's full-time run in SWC. But I felt it was more poignant to show you guys that kind of stuff than watch it with Ed and Quinn, you know, because you probably hadn't seen most of that match before. But that was literally what we were doing like the week before you guys showed up. And not only were we doing it at that point, but also we had plans to do another super show that was a deathmatch tournament. Do you remember this?
Yeah, we got fucking crazy. We were supposed to. That dude from Australia, right? Or
Well,
is this
no-
something different?
No, this is something different.
Oh,
It was
shit.
supposed to be right after BYS, and Sean Matthews was going to come to BYS, and you told him not to come to our deathmatch tournament so you could wrestle him in a light tubes and ladders match.
Now that you say that, I actually do recall that being a thing.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about
You
that.
thought you were having a light tubes and ladders match like a week after BYS.
You're gonna do a deathmatch super show?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
a tournament though.
I don't remember.
There are 2 conversations going on at the same time.
Sorry. Well, I was trying to figure out who Sean Matthews was.
Yeah.
And then I thought about Boy Meets World.
Corey Matthews.
Corey
and-
Matthews.
And Sean.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
remember who
last
Sean
name.
Matthews is.
Yeah.
Hunter.
Oh, blast from the
I
past.
don't know who Sean Matthews is. I don't remember who that is.
New York. He did the leg drop off the balcony one time.
I
He
kinda,
used to say, yeah, yo.
Dude, I'm pretty
Smoke
sure I
weed.
used to argue with that dude on the forums.
starting to ring a bell a
regularly.
little bit.
I think you argue with
Just-
everybody
Yeah, I
regularly.
think, it doesn't really narrow it down.
So after that light tube match happens, we start getting into you guys actually showing up. So Dominic shows up a week after this match?
I'm here for
Dude,
the
about
belt.
time the A-team showed
Was
up.
my debut on BYS?
No. Absolutely not. It was
Absolutely.
Here?
this match
Oh,
exactly.
Okay. Oh,
So,
God bless.
Steve, go ahead, drop it.
Hey,
the-
that's right. I remember this now.
The idea behind this was I was kind of sending in the troops one by one to infiltrate SWC. And essentially, CTK essentially was ETW invading SWC. That was the whole point to it. We had Dom, Josh, Quinn, me, Eric, my brother, loosely affiliated. And it's funny, like, listening to the last episode, how you guys did an invasion angle as well, and I didn't realize that. That's so funny. But that was the idea, sending you guys in one by one. Okay, so Dom couldn't really get the job done, so okay, now I gotta send in Josh. Yeah, well, it made for a good story.
Wait, did we skip my match, or is I'm just? Oh no.
We talked about your match on the last episode.
Dude, that hurt like a motherfucker, dude. That hurt so bad,
I was
dude.
gonna bring that up. I'm sorry.
It's cool. You fucked me up on that one.
That's all.
I had to let you know I was there, kid.
That's all he talked about after you left was how fucking stiff you were.
Yeah, I remember
Shit out
when
of
we
me.
planned this match. Correct me if I'm wrong. You wanted like a real like old school simple style match.
Yeah, probably.
Like that was what you were going for, and we
Yeah.
just did it.
We did it.
Yeah.
Were you working professionally at this time? This would've been
No, that's when
2009.
the school shut down, and then I was just hanging out.
So that's why you were willing to come then.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay,
think
cool.
I knew that. I don't
Yeah,
think
the
I knew
school. The school shut down, and then I was 135 pounds, soaking wet at the time, with luscious locks. But I was too small for anyone to be like interested in me in the local indie scene.
Right.
And then I was just hanging out. And
Yeah,
then,
fuck it. And it was to our benefit because meeting you and hanging out with you and having you on your roster was nothing but positives for us.
Wish I could say the same.
B team as.
Listen, I'm on every team, so I can't be on the B team. Directly following that, we had Mad Dog wrestle Hack Edgeman. So what this show was it was supposed to be a title tournament. It was a sequel to our 2008 show that we loved. It was our favorite show to start 2008, and we figured why not run it again to start 2009. It'll be a way to get the belt on somebody that we wanted to be on or whatever. And it was, once again, I was going to win the title tournament for the second year in a row, and then we do like 3 matches from the tournament and scrap the whole show again, and it never fucking happened. So still beltless over here, never getting to win shit, always getting kicked out of stuff.
Poor Eric.
Poor fucking Rick. Anything you remember about this match, Dominic? How about this bump? Ed tried to do that move a billion times and never worked right.
Only thing I'm thinking about is my match with Derek. Was that a different day?
Yes.
So this is the first time I wrestle in Ground Zero, but what was the
This is not Ground Zero either. This is after. This is like the title tournament. This is nothing. This
Okay.
is a scrap match.
I understand now. I was getting a little confused with my timeline here.
Yeah.
I probably don't remember
Look,
much.
oh, no sell it this time.
That's right.
Dude, I think Dominic got hit with that parking sign more than anyone.
Yeah, that was his whole thing.
That was his sign. That was your sign.
That's why he wanted it.
He loved that thing.
That's when we found out the
So
park,
Dominic
right?
goes over Ed and he makes it to the finals of the title tournament to face me.
I
Sorry I
remember
made you look
having
bad, Ed.
color back then. What happened? What happened to your skin?
I don't really remember that match too
I
much.
wanted to ask
I don't
you, does
really
this
either,
mean
to be
something?
honest.
Or is it just something to do?
It's just
like,
it's literally that's exactly. I'm like I don't know what to do. That's exactly what it is. 100%.
I do remember this match.
I remember this match very well. In fact, the one thing that surprises me all the time, whenever we watch this together, because we've watched it together a few times since it happened.
Yeah.
I give you the worst impact driver I ever gave it, like dangerously scary. And whenever you bring up all the stuff that happened to you in wrestling, you never even talk about it. You're just like, oh, I don't even remember.
You'll have to point it out, but
I will not
I
have
know.
to point it out.
It's in this match?
Yes.
What about isn't it a Northern Light suplex that you give me at some point?
Yeah, that's what you always talk about. It's like I knocked the wind out of you with a
It hurted.
This right here.
Oh, this move.
Watch
Yeah,
your head, dude.
who
And
needs
then I
a head?
lean back.
Oh, yeah. You don't normally bump like that.
And he never said
I don't
a word
think I
about it.
meant
He's like,
to.
I'm fine. No, you didn't. I leaned back. You're not supposed to lean back when you,
You know
do that
me,
move.
always giving the FU to anybody.
Maybe you knocked him so hard that he legitimately just doesn't remember.
Yeah.
Did we go hard in this match, or is this just your editing?
No, we went super hard.
Okay.
Because it was the finals of the title tournament. We did a bunch of shit. But
Look
this
how hard you went. You took your shirt off.
I-
Shit's getting real.
Wait, so
I had,
this
like-
never counted though?
No, this never was a thing.
Wait, we're doing
But
this
it
too?
was-
It didn't even get released until like 2015.
Damn.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
this wasn't canonically
Uh-uh.
episodic?
Forbidden tape.
Nope.
Well, was it canon for Josh's debut?
No,
Technically,
technically.
Dom wrestled at Lenny Bud. That
Right.
predated this.
So that was canon. And then, so what we did was the very next thing you're about to see is
Sorry.
Talk about your soccer moms.
Yeah.
here's me. I'm like, hey, I saw this dude wrestle Ed a couple weeks ago. I didn't say title tournament or anything. I said, this dude wrestled Ed a couple weeks ago. I would like to wrestle him. And then he comes out. He's like, yeah, sure, bud. And then JP's like, hey, I'm here too. And I'm like, oh, then all three of us then. How about it? And then I'm like, fuck you, JP. And then I point to him. I'm like, I remember you. You were here before with that Falkland dude. And then we get into the match.
So this would have been JP's first match.
Thanks.
So
Yes.
okay, so I guess what I was asking was the Little J match that he just had.
Yeah.
Was that released up
No.
until? So okay, so this is Little J's first match technically.
What year is this?
2009. Everything we talk about tonight is between May and June of 2009.
So that shirt I had made when we were in 6th grade. That's
Yep.
my out of control T-shirt.
Yeah.
Should be
That was
framing
sick.
up on the wall.
Do you still have it?
I probably do.
Hell yeah.
we have a lot of really cool
That
stuff.
was
going.
sick.
Yeah. That wasn't.
Do you remember this match, JP?
I vaguely do.
Okay.
Yeah, actually. Which
I
is
remember the gear.
surprising.
Pajamas.
I don't remember
like
you
the
having
gear,
a clean
JP.
cut like that, though.
You were gorgeous. You have the nicest judge. You get rid of this shit.
He's always trying to change people's looks. We're at the wedding. He's like, you know what? You should stop wearing that hat so
Take
much.
that hat off. You're a
the kid
handsome
alone.
feller.
What are
Leave
you,
the kid
a
alone.
50-year-old man?
It's never a bad
He
suggestion.
does have an eye, so
Hi.
like you got to take a little bit of what he says seriously.
So
Boom.
Do we
Oh,
know
that was
that-
cool.
Look at me. I stack them, I smack them, and then I bounce with the 3 count. And then you guys are like, are we friends?
There had to be a thought process to this because the idea of these guys happened. Okay, maybe that was the tease.
That was, yeah.
Okay, that they were in cahoots the whole time.
So that's the end of the trickle in there. Any first memories of when you guys came back?
Oh, I lost the thing.
Not really.
I do remember.
No?
I do remember specifically wanting to wrestle Josh more
Yeah.
because like I didn't
get it.
know you.
Right, yeah.
I wasn't comfortable, so I remember like thinking in my head like I'm gonna focus on Josh.
Uh-huh. That makes
So,
sense.
yeah.
I mean, we wrestled once before, and it was my first match ever, so you probably still had a little bit of a sour taste in your mouth from that. Like
Yeah.
last time we wrestled,
But
he
I mean,
jumped on me.
I wrestled Josh for like years.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know what
true.
I mean? And like I was like, I don't really know this guy.
Absolutely.
I don't know if I want to
I
like.
definitely feel that.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how I felt when I'd wrestled the new guys. Like, cause remember when we did it on the trampoline, we were like having side conversations during the match, talking about anything. Like, we didn't really care about the quality of the match. As soon as those expectations came down and you had to wrestle someone you didn't know, it was like, do I like wrestling? I don't know.
Well, Steve, was there anybody else in Pittsburgh that you like wrestled with backyard? Because the reason why I'm asking is I remember you telling me about these kids like across town or something. Did they have a ring? Like
Yeah,
anybody
so
else?
that
Oh, Penn Hills, yeah.
Is
we
that it
wrestled,
was?
We all wrestled with
Okay.
them.
I ended up going there.
Well, because I think I remember. Was that before you met these guys?
no,
No.
after.
It was
Much
after.
after, yeah.
Okay, then I guess I'm confusing those two. Because I'm thinking those people are. I'm thinking whatever. I just remember you telling me about these kids across town that backyard wrestle. I'm like, oh shit, there's other people that do this
wow.
in Pittsburgh.
That's what I'm thinking because I wouldn't know who
It has
else
to
it
be
could have
Justin.
been.
Shout out to Justin. I love him.
Shout out Justin. Shout out Corey. Shout out Marky Moss.
Shout out that mouse.
Well, this is the stupid TV remote that doesn't need
Oh,
to be
I
there.
can
That's
take
what
it.
is.
Yeah.
Now, Josh, I have a question for you. Was there any hesitation? I know you said you didn't really have much to do in the professional world, but back then, 2009, I know for myself how frowned upon backyard wrestling was, at least within the Pittsburgh indie wrestling scene, and that was why I was so against, not backyard wrestling, and that's eventually why you wore a mask. Taking that first dive back into this while also moonlighting as a pro wrestler, was there any sort of anxiety that you remember that first time?
Yeah, a little bit. Just at first too. I probably would have never remembered that match had I not just saw it. God bless you.
It's all good.
I remember kicking you in the head though.
I bet.
I didn't realize that you don't, motherfucker. I remember, a little hesitant getting back into it, and then that was just like for fun. I feel like, and then. Because then we started to do it regularly, like kind of like it was ETW again, but now we're adults. But yeah, I was a little bit hesitant, and then I think when I what was that? What was that BYS where was that Devin Bliss posted pictures and like everybody got in trouble?
Much later, yeah.
But that's like, because that's right about when I started to actually pro wrestle.
Okay.
Yeah, because I had maybe like 3 or 4 matches, maybe at that point.
Okay. With like RWA and stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's when I put that mask on.
Yeah, right. It makes and then, like I remember I was watching like a promo with you and I, and like you were like even like standing like with your hair.
Yeah, you kept doing it over and over again.
Makes sense.
Yeah, right.
But I was wondering
Until my entrance when I showed everybody.
Yeah, and not only that, but also like your posture is so specific, and like your gear is so specific, and everything you do, it's like that's Josh Todd,
You're motherfucking right.
which is a good thing. There's nothing wrong with it.
Just for some filler while Ed's gone.
Yeah, because he's literally who we have to talk about right now.
Yeah. He's back. But going back to what Dominic said
show.
about being like, you feeling like you have to impress people.
Yeah.
Is probably 90% of the reason. Like when I went to super shows, I didn't want to wrestle.
Yeah.
Like thinking back to it, it's like because when we did it with ourselves, like we just had fun. Like going out in front of people, like I feel like the whole time you have to impress people and like you feel pressured. And I'm like, I don't really have fun doing that.
Right.
So
And I
that's
never
probably-
remember judging the quality of an ETW match until like the first Out of Control.
Right.
Like was when I first thought about that.
Well, yeah, that makes
Other
sense.
than that, we'd be bouncing around the trampoline, and then somebody else would be like in front of the camera and be like, "Look at my teeth!" Like nothing was serious. Like it was.
I remember the second episode you held up a title because you got eliminated. You're like, I should have won.
Yes, that's ingrained in my brain.
But then you busted out laughing immediately.
I know,
Like it was the funniest thing you've ever said in your entire life. You popped yourself.
That's pretty much what Ed did too, right? Like you didn't love being judged. That's why by the time we got to BYS 5, you tried to lock yourself in the house. Yeah. So right now, we're about to run Ground Zero 5. And the whole reason Ground Zero 5 happened as a show was 1, to warm us up for BYS a little bit, and 2, to finally put all the storylines together so we can get Ed the fucking belt and we can get Steve into the position that we want him to be in and make everything work all nice and good.
And it's really good we gave Ed the belt because his pants were so big they would have fallen down otherwise.
Right, absolutely.
That is a good point.
So
We just cared about
I
you.
don't know.
literally. So 2 weeks before this, I whooped the shit out of Ed in the Lenny Bud Memorial match. It was like our first big match.
That doesn't look like anything but legible text at all. Sorry, Rick.
No, you're good.
I didn't mean to speak over you, but like,
Yeah.
had I not known that said Hack Edgerman, I would have never guessed what that said.
That's the point. I didn't want him to get over, dude. Come on. So just 2 weeks before this, I had beaten the shit out of him and won a belt off of him, and he was our champion. And then he lost it to fucking Quinn, and all the shit goes on. And then I come out, and I'm like, you know what? I've been winning a lot of matches, beating good people. I want a title match. And Ed comes out, well, hold on, fight me first. And I'm like, why? I just beat you. He's like, well, just do it again then, and then we'll see who's the number 1 contender. And so we had a match.
Oh,
This match
I remember
was
you doing that fun
insanely
stuff.
fun. Yeah, sometimes I bust shit out like that.
I agree. This
I remember
match
you-
was very
Sometimes.
fun.
I did like your backflip too, and then you did it in our match, the front flip where you
The
went
undertalk
backwards.
one, yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah, that's
it.
my favorite hack move. So this match was really cool because I showed up after like swimming all day and we had to bang this shit out to get it to go. And we planned almost nothing. And Ed's just like, you want to land on your head once? And I'm like, I guess I always do. So he like eventually drops me on the dome piece with something. And it was so fun, wasn't it?
This
Like,
was a blast, yeah. This was super fun.
It was like the opposite of how seriously we took the Lenny Bud match that just happened. And now, like, look, I
Exactly.
realized I almost killed Dominic. Now I do it safe. I'm like, I can't do it like I did before.
So was the idea me coming back to?
Good spot.
I feel like the idea was, so to reiterate, that the whole plan was me versus Ed.
Right.
Because we were going to tease, like we were going to lead into Rick versus me.
Right. Here's
so
me landing.
you had to have the championship.
Look at the quality.
You used
of
to
the
bump
base.
like a rag doll.
I did. Yeah, and so there's a couple things you could do to get over when you're a big guy. One of them is be good at wrestling, and the other one is hurt yourself. So
This would be funny.
Oh man.
you can be funny, and I didn't want to be that.
Oh, he tapped!
He tapped me,
Why the
bro.
fuck did I do that? Was that like me trying to do a
sick.
new finisher or something?
You try your entire backyard wrestling career, you kept trying to put over the fact that you wanted a submission finisher. Even when you came up with a Merc, you would Merc them and flip them.
Oh, I remember that. I thought that was like the coolest thing ever. Like after I slam, I'm gonna put him in a submission.
You just needed it. You wanted to do submissions all the time.
I would do that with a suplex. I'd always go over to a headlock.
Oh, nice, yeah.
I liked it. I don't know why.
So immediately following that, Ed gets his SWC title match against Jimmy P. And
That looked. I like that.
Yeah, there was no way I was coming back from wrestling Jimmy P.
No way. Because at this point, like he was causing the argument with me on the link, and like I hadn't even seen him wrestle. I'm like, well, I don't really care for this kid. I'm not wrestling him.
You know what? I don't even remember this.
Yeah, well, I don't know what you're talking about. What
I
happened?
remember, they posted, somebody specifically isolated the clip of me and Zane, and, Jimmy P was the ref, and I, maybe it was Deke that was, trying to instigate, and,
That sounds more like a Derek thing.
I, shoved Jimmy P, and he, grabbed me and pulled me.
Yeah, that happened, yeah.
And then, and I said, you better,
That was a nice little combination.
Yeah.
Dude, RKO on the bench was dope.
He was,
And now Ed's the champ.
Look at Steve getting bitched out, and, that's when it was, is this a work?
So we finally get Ed with the belt, and because we needed to, and that was leading us to Backyard Supremacy 1, which is the picture that you guys have been oogling at the entire time for us to take a peek at and talk about. Backyard Supremacy 1. Ed, do you remember the initial ideas for Backyard Supremacy 1?
I remember sitting in your grandma's room on the computer. We were talking about it, right?
Yeah.
And I remember, obviously, the big thing was we got to get Zane, and we're going to get Zane to do this, and it's going to be a super show.
And that was the only thing I thought, right? I'm like, we're going to have if an outsider comes here and we have a big show, I can call it a super show.
That was exactly it, yeah.
And
you were confident you could get Zane.
I kept talking with him, yeah. After he left, him and I never lost contact. We made music together over the internet. I just messaged him last time we did a show to find out that they all got arrested. I've just always talked with him.
We got arrested,
I
man.
remember at this time. What's that?
Yeah, we got arrested. We got arrested.
Zane messaged me, and he was like, yeah, those kids in Baldwin are trying to get me to come in. And maybe he even suggested yeah, I'll come in and that's your graduation. So that was
I remember that. That sounds familiar.
And then he's like, I'll go in, do the match, and I'll hang out with you because he didn't really know you that well.
Right, yeah.
So he was like, yeah, I'll do that. He's like, are you gonna? And that probably planted the seeds to coming back too as well. It was kind of so much going on, and figured, well, if Zane's going there to wrestle, I may as well go as well. So maybe I'll be opening Backyarding again.
When did I pick him up as a surprise? Do you remember that?
That would have been BOS 4.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Big weekend.
Ed, were you excited about Backyard Supremacy? Did you know anybody that was coming here?
I remember being really excited, but I don't remember.
You didn't know who Beast No was or anything?
Oh, no, yeah. I was totally lost on that one.
Right.
All new to me.
Mm.
Well, I was just going to say, you had wrestled in Ohio at this point, right?
So, yeah, I had already.
I wasn't at JS1.
JS1 was. No, you didn't go. Me and Jimmy P went. Story of this is actually fucking hilarious. Brandon posts JAS1 on GBYWN, and I'm like, yeah, I'll come to your stupid little show, but I'm going to be in the main event, and it's going to be against you, and it's going to be in a TLC match. And Brandon replies, okay. I drive to Ohio, I'm in the main event, we have a TLC match, and then we just roll from there. It's game on. Jimmy P and Livewire had a ladder match, just straight up ladder match at that show, and that shit is hilarious too. We don't have time to talk about it, but there were so many ridiculous things. So just picture Jimmy P in a ladder match with someone he doesn't know, and that person is Livewire.
I can't even picture him traveling.
Right, exactly.
I was just gonna say I didn't know that he did all that.
Yeah.
He just fell off. He decided he lived the gimmick, smoked too many cigs.
Me and Ed have recently determined that he got into probably some harder stuff that we didn't know about at the time.
Some left-handed cigs. Got it.
Some third-handed cigarettes.
Devil's lettuce.
We don't know his whereabouts at all.
Right
By the
now,
way,
we have no idea where Jimmy P is right
Wow.
now. Yeah.
God, rest in peace.
R.I.P. man.
Last time I talked to him, he hit me up to say, sorry to hear about your dad. He was a good dude. And I'm like, thanks, man. And then I never heard from him again. That was it.
That was awfully nice.
Yeah. And at this point, we got Ohio coming in. We got Zane supposed to be coming in, but it ended up being a little delayed. And that is, it's just SWC, and everybody's going to come back, and we're going to have the show. So
those guys are coming here.
Ohio was coming here for the first time.
And who was Ohio?
Ohio was on this photo here. We have Catonic, aka Caleb, Beast Snow, aka Brandon.
Oh, he gave me a receipt for you. He kicked my head off.
I remember that. Nasty.
I told him
Straight
to
through
do
your
that.
lip.
I told him that was my fault.
No, you didn't.
I did.
All right.
And then we had DC Doom, aka Josh, and we had Shadow the Cody Jacobs.
How did KPW get involved?
So I was just gonna say, don't
because
forget KPW.
this is their first time wrestling with us, correct?
Yeah.
So
And this was like a big thing.
That was okay. I knew that we were doing this, and then I think I may have asked you, Rick, like, you want me to reach out to some other guys in the PA area, and then I think I literally just hit up James, and I was like, yo, do you want to do this? Because I don't think, was Jimmy working at this point, Josh? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I know he got. Well, if you're listening to this, James, I don't know if you were really trained. No, I'm kidding. No, but he got trained wherever, and I don't think if he had a match, it was maybe like one or two also.
Right, but he wasn't regularly working.
Yeah.
Because I remember, like, I just randomly messaged him out of the blue. Like, I just thought, Super Show, Pennsylvania, KPW might be interested, not knowing if they were still wrestling in any capacity whatsoever. So I was kind of like surprised they just like actually showed up. I was like, I actually didn't expect you guys to show up.
And they ended up being a big part of us.
They did.
Yeah, and I had no idea who they were when they showed up either. So whenever I was going about booking the card, I'm like, Jimmy P versus Jimmy Nutter happened because their first names were Jimmy.
I remember that.
It was me and Ed.
100% true.
Me and Ed were
Jimmy versus Jimmy.
We got to do Jimmy versus Jimmy.
I wondered why they wrestled, but I was watching their podcast. The what do they call it? Top Turtle.
Bottom Turtle. The one podcast to rule them all.
Yeah,
I say Top Tursha just because
Tursha.
I think it sounds
Whose
cool.
podcast?
Brandon.
Brandon's on it.
Would you stop
4.
doing that?
I know.
I'm gonna kick you out of here. You do it again.
Chongo.
This guy doesn't.
What's
get
Chongo's
confused.
real name? Oh my
Jacob.
God, Jacob. Yeah, I love Chongo.
Yeah.
Cody and Devin
and Jordy.
and Jordy. Yeah, I was watching theirs and they said some stuff.
They said some stuff.
I heard some stuff.
Go ahead, Bloodbath. What'd they say?
And I
Go
want
ahead, put them
to
on blast.
read it because I didn't know all of them that well, but I wasn't a part of this this possible fraternity, so I want to see if you guys might have been.
Okay.
But something like, and I quote,
Who said this?
Cody.
Okay.
The Super Show era, while a lot of fun, was one of the most high school cliquey bullshit pieces of shit things that I've ever been a part of.
Sounds like a real nerd, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
This is a recent comment.
This is on their podcast, yeah.
What?
Yeah. Like, so he said it killed his self-confidence to this day.
To right now. Okay.
Because, whether you wanted to believe it or not, like there was like a crowd, like an in crowd essentially. And I never had this perspective because I felt kind of like, I was just there to hang out with the bros, but like he's talking directly about like Pittsburgh. Like they said they got shitty bookings, and like bad
Those guys
matches.
did when they came here, or did everybody from
like
outside?
they're saying like when they went to I don't want to say there, Cody, like when he would go to a Super Show and like the ones in Pittsburgh were bad, like because it was cliquey, shitty bookings, didn't want to wrestle, like
Nobody watched his matches. Nobody got
Is
paid
he
for
talking
him.
about himself, or is he talking about all of them?
He's talking about a group of people that he perceives to exist, which is him, Chongo, apparently Jordy, and the lower class, in his opinion, of revival people.
Yeah, he also said that like Devin and Brandon were like in the cool group, so they wouldn't have noticed it. So like I did.
Yeah, and he also said that they had nothing to do with it either. Like you guys didn't have anything to do with it, but you were part of it.
I found that odd because I'm thinking to myself like, yes, there were groups of people that like hung out
Called friends.
But I never felt like anybody was alienated. If anything, the awkwardness from me, at least if I didn't talk to someone, it was because I didn't know you and I just didn't know what to talk about.
Absolutely.
Or maybe I thought you were smelly. I don't know. Just the simple thing that I'm trying to get at here is though because I enjoyed listening to their podcast. It was actually like enjoyable, but I just like I didn't feel that way, and I'm just wondering like, did you guys notice it because you might have been a little bit more invested in it,
So a little more specifically, the names that were called out were me and Steve.
Yes.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Directly.
The most invested.
Exactly.
And,
right. And if I remember correctly, the line was something like the adults should have handled this problem and then pointed to me and Steve, right?
Yeah.
We were 18 years old. We were no more adult than anybody else there. We were literally just the ones that booked the shows.
I didn't even book it.
Right. Yeah. Ed was older than me. Brandon was older than me. The KPW guys were all older than me.
Well, real quick, Rick, it just my personal opinion, as far as the bookings go, there are top dogs and there are bottom dwellers.
That's how it
I
works.
would never go to a Super Show with Steve and say, I deserve the booking he's getting. It's
Exactly.
That's just not how it goes. And that's not saying
That's
Cody
just
is
life.
bad or Brandon is good, but at the end of the day, people want to see Beast Snow wrestle.
Yeah.
And not that they don't care about Cody, Brandon is better.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you kind of have to just accept the fact, like I feel like I did, bottom dweller. Have fun with it.
Yeah.
Play within the tools that you have.
Yeah,
Right.
I kind of felt like a jobber, but it was
I
cool.
agree.
And I
Like
don't
said,
mean any disrespect by that. It's just at the end of the day, there are Sidney Crosby's is a superstar in the NHL. Some scrub is not going to say, "Hey, bench him and put me in."
Right.
Amen
Right.
to that.
And I
You know
remember
what I mean?
specifically, not to cut you off, that another Ohio gentleman had a problem about this, so we specifically went, okay, we'll give you a pretty decent booking on BYS4, and we'll get to that whenever we get there. But I think also he might not be identifying his role within pro wrestling and then affiliating that with, okay, well, he's attributing that to a clique of some sort
Right.
because of that reason.
Right.
Where when I was told about this, like I messaged him, like I was surprised to be targeted like this. I was like, because I literally just saw him like 2 years ago and it was all hugs and everything. I was
Yeah.
like, "You have a
Whenever I
problem
was
with me?"
releasing music, he was commenting on all my shit, talking about I can't wait to see more of this.
And also, I just want to point out that the adults should have handled this problem, which, as you commented on, we were only 18, right? We weren't aware of a problem.
Right.
We weren't out there specifically to alienate anybody.
Yeah,
Right.
none of us
Because
had like a perfect moral compass yet.
Right. Exactly.
You know,
Not only
like
that,
it's.
But Rick, did you not allow them to come to Pittsburgh and wrestle on your shows?
So, okay, I want to talk about this real quick because I wore this CM Punk shirt for a reason. I feel a certain type of way about this in general just because I feel like I experienced a lot of the same stuff that he's talking about. There was a show I was going with JP. Jay was booking it. He was like, I got you in this match, Renegade in a dumpster match or something. And I'm like, JP, tell him I'm not coming. Like, this is past BYS 5, all that shit. I had made to an extent of booking all these people in matches they want, and then I'm going to WrestleFest to wrestle fucking Renegade in a dumpster match. Like, get the hell out! Like, I'm not doing it. And he was like, "So you're just not going to come then?" And I'm like, "Yes, I'm not going to come." And he's like, "All right." Next day he texts me, "What if I put you in a match with J2 Step?"
There you go.
Fucking killed it. I went there,
Right.
knocked it out of the park. All that shit disappears when you don't fucking suck. Like, I'm sorry that you couldn't get over with the boys or be good at wrestling in an arena where the only thing that mattered is getting over with the boys and being good at wrestling. Like,
Another thing too is like we didn't alienate people. Like I said before, like how you invited them essentially,
Yeah.
and that's one of the things like the Link did. Like they had invite lists.
Invite
Just
only
thinking
list,
about
yeah.
that.
So
yeah.
because they didn't want random people showing up, if somebody had a problem with somebody and was causing bullshit on the forum, they could say, "Okay, Mike Quest, you're not booked on this show. You're not
Right.
welcome in my yard, right?"
Exactly.
But you literally welcomed everybody in, and not only that, but I housed everybody.
Yeah.
That being
I
said,
remember that.
Justin Beach probably wouldn't have allowed in my house because he's pretty weird.
Yeah,
he's,
right.
He's the only one we ever really
Right.
didn't care for, right? And
The way that I went about booking matches, the first most important thing to me was always having the best show I can possibly have. That was number one, always, no matter what. What are the best matches I can put on here? And then number two was giving my friends the people that they wanted to wrestle. I don't care, and that's the truth. Everybody has friends. I treated my friends differently just like other people did. People got bookings because of their friendships the entire time we did backyard wrestling. I made sure that Brandon wrestled Tommy Flambeau, but guess what? Tommy Flambeau wanted to wrestle Brandon.
Right.
I made sure that Stacy wrestled Freak Boy, but guess what? Freak Boy wanted to wrestle Stacy. That can go on and on forever. Do you know how many people that came to Pittsburgh backyard wrestling shows ever said, "Hey Rick, can I wrestle Shadow this weekend?" You want to take a guess?
I'm going to pick up what you're putting down, and I assume
Literally zero.
Yeah.
Never.
That's probably
one
the same
time.
number I had.
Well, can I say something?
Untrue. Rock and
me
Rivera
preach.
made you wrestle him.
Did he really?
Because I'm on the outside a little bit looking
Yeah.
at it. Because I feel like I'm like I was not invested as much as you
Right.
guys were, of course. I feel like I would have liked that kind of like before when WrestleFigs, like I guess maybe when you were on there,
Yeah.
I got on. Because to me, it's a double-edged sword, I guess, cut through the fat because everybody wants to wrestle.
Yeah.
But it's all like these super shows, especially like you kind of have to treat it like it is an indie show in a way, even though it's not. It's just all a bunch of buddies across the country who spend their own money and not getting paid to have these matches.
Yeah.
So of course you would like it to be worth your while if you're going to travel from, states away.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, the better that you are, of course, that catches everybody's attention. So you're going to get a better spot on whatever show that you're on.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a little disheartening because if you're not, maybe if there's people that are way over more than you are, then you're not going to get the spot that maybe you think you should. But I understand how you could be bent out of shape about that too. Because we're all just friends. That's it. We're all friends here.
And I don't want to comment too much on this because I am not part of this, and maybe it was a lot harder for somebody else. Like, who am I to say he's wrong if he felt this way? I just, if he felt alienated, it wasn't anything that I did consciously. Like, I never had a problem with him, and in fact, I even let him borrow all of my Dragon Ball Z DVDs, knowing that I would see him the next month.
Wow.
I helped him come up with the name Cody Jacobs. He was just the shadow. I spent like 3 hours one night on GBYWN with him, helping him come up with the name. And another thing that he said on this little rant that he went on was that people wanted to be Brandon and Devin. And
maybe inside of them.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, I mean,
definitely
they're
Devin.
cute.
He's pretty.
Yeah, but like, I mean,
these
Devin is
underclass of people
Hit me
that
up.
apparently flocked to Brandon and Devin.
So like the people that are alienated wanted to be
Brandon
they
and Devin,
idolized them?
and also the rest of the group, which would include me, you, I guess. I don't know. Like, I don't understand the entire premise, but what I heard whenever he was talking about it was he was mad that he wasn't me. Like, that's what it sounds like. And you know what, dude? It sucks to suck. I'm sorry. Like, that's all it is. I'm
Hey,
at the end of the day, I could say that from a booking aspect, I could see, all right, he might not have got the bookings that he wanted, but I can't say, and I've been around you guys a lot, that outside of wrestling, there's just no way that you guys treated him bad.
right.
I just can't see
100%.
that being the truth.
definitely not on purpose.
Right.
I wrestled him before.
I like the
so
kid.
yeah,
I had no problems with him.
Even let's discuss the bookings here just real quick, where this is going on a lot longer than I expected it to.
Sorry, you can cut
But-
whatever you want.
It's good content though.
He wrestled. His first match was the pre-main on BYS1 that we're going to watch against Scott Brumley. And he scoffed at wrestling Scott Brumley.
What?
Anybody in this room would rather wrestle Scott Brumley than wrestle Shadow. Like, that's just facts. I'm sorry.
I love Scott.
Love Scott Brumley. Day 2, he wrestled Adrian Grimm and Lil Ryder. Okay, nobody wants to wrestle Adrian Grimm, but Lil Ryder was the man. Like, he was
willing to do it.
Yeah. Day 3, he wrestles JP and Quinn, and he said, well, that was my only good booking for that weekend. Piss off. BYS2, he messages 4 days before the show to confirm, after I already have the whole card laid out, right? So I post on Facebook, got the whole card laid out, Shadow messages, I'm like, fuck, Shadow just said he's coming, so I gotta change some shit. Brandon's reply to that was, Shadow's a shit man.
Oh no!
But Brandon never did anything towards Shadow. He held up Shadow all the time, and we were the assholes. Right?
They're on the same podcast.
Yeah,
and
and he's throwing shade like,
man.
you know who I booked Shadow against that day? The pen name. Can't get much better than that on BYS2. The next day he was wrestling JP in one of the biggest matches. Like, you know who he wrestled day 2 of BYS2? Twisted Outcast.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's coming at my neck about bookings that are actually fucking good. Like, Ed had to wrestle Tony Sheets dressed as Super Phoenix. Like,
Well, let me point something out. Let me point something out about acknowledging your booking. If
Right.
you are constantly acknowledging your booking and you're saying it's a bad booking, you are judging the person you're being
Yeah,
booked
it's an
against.
insult.
So you are then saying that there are bad wrestlers.
Yep.
So maybe you should
Yeah,
turn that
amen to that.
over on yourself
Great
and say,
point.
okay, maybe I was the bad wrestler. Now I sucked to an extent, but like whenever I had to job against someone, I was like, that's fair.
Facts.
You know, I'm not invested. I'm not here for a long time. Here for
Absolutely.
a good time.
But you're here for a good time.
So
I also, sorry,
you know,
go.
if like someone like if someone was booked from another place like against me and they felt some type of way about it, I'd be like, listen, come here. It's okay.
I feel for you.
I'll take the blame. You know what I mean? Like that's how I felt about it. So maybe he was just a little too gassed up.
So essentially, he's saying that the kids that he's wrestling are
Not
who
on
he
his level.
thinks
Yeah, if
he
he's
is
mad
to
about
them.
the booking, then
It's like a double standard.
Right.
exactly, yes.
I
And
also
get it.
think not a lot of people really looked at, okay, well, how can I stand out? And I think, if you are lacking in something, accentuate the other thing, right? Like, so Dom, you said how you viewed yourself as a jobber, but you were very athletic. And athleticism, regardless of coordination or anything like that, that translates on the screen. And, it can hide, the match structure or whatever,
Yeah, like I might grab the wrong arm, but like maybe we'll do a crazy hurricanrana real quick.
And you're willing to get hit in the head with a sign every time
Always.
you wrestle,
No
right?
doubt.
Always.
I tried to stand out by doing like character and storyline work. Like, I feel like if you saw something that wasn't working, everyone wants to be Johnny Gargano.
Yep.
Everyone can't be, right?
I don't even know who that is, and I want to be him.
I think that's kind of the issue. I mean, this is backyard wrestling, and I feel like a lot of these people just feel like they are professional wrestlers.
Yeah.
And that's great that you approach it that way, but
Yeah.
that's in, like, other guys from the backyard would emulate guys in the backyard as if they are these big,
I did
accomplished indie wrestlers. I mean, I'm not saying anything wrong with
Yeah.
that either. Yeah, I mean, you guys may disagree a little bit with what I'm saying here, but I mean, the fact that everybody traveled across the country to take this as seriously as they did, I mean, it's great, but at the same time, we're just, everybody's just kind of, we're play wrestling.
Yes.
Because this is a backyard.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So we're all, it's just fun.
Yeah.
But if you do want to take it that seriously, great. A lot of people did, you guys especially.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of my problem with indie wrestling too, is like what you just said.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a great approach to it. You've got to approach it like that, especially if you want to do this, seriously, passionately, professionally. But not everybody takes it that way.
No.
Not everybody understands that.
I also noticed that within the backyard scene, I noticed, like, specifically when we had those 3 kids that showed up at the one Allentown show, Blue Sox.
Yeah, yep.
I remember, like, specifically, like, someone was like, all right, so who's heel? And, like, nobody wanted to be heel. Because I feel like a lot of people didn't want to get booed because they took it legitimately.
Right.
And it struck a nerve with them.
Yep.
That's weird.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, they don't realize that, like, that it's not real. Like, it's
Right.
the thing.
Yep.
And I get it. Everyone has, they want to, oh man, such is on the card. Cool. Totally get that. When I was traveling to Dover, PA at 16 years old, do you think I was in the main event?
No.
No. Absolutely not. And I knew I shouldn't be. I knew I was 16 years old. I knew I had so much more to learn.
Yep.
So then by the time 2 years later, 2009 comes around, I have learned so much more. But the perception
Yep.
of me being an ESW guy, it didn't matter that I was in the first match, but I was an ESW guy.
100%.
The perception was I was a Link guy, and now I'm a bigger fish in a small pond, and I can carry myself that way because that's the character that I was portraying. Yeah. I would have never done that on a show with Drew Cordero back then. Never. Because who am I?
I fucking love to hear that. That was fantastic. That's exactly what I wanted to hear to get into this exact situation here. So that aura that you were able to carry with you, and me finding GBYWN, essentially, like being a kind of a co-founder of the GBYWN forums, you and I together in this scenario, and along with the stuff that Ed did to help get us to this point, our idea was to restart backyard wrestling.
Well, it's funny because, like, that's just me being so removed from it that, like, I didn't know that, essentially, Indiana just had a super show or whatever. But, like, my perception was once I left, there was no more backyard wrestling.
Right.
Because I wasn't involved.
Right.
But now it was kind of more so like, I'm back. I'm going to be able to contribute to the level that I can contribute. And this can be a rebirth, a revival of the backyard wrestling in my perspective, and me being able to contribute to that. And it was like, okay, here we go.
Yep. And that is Backyard Supremacy 1.
Oh my gosh. Here it
I'm
is.
excited to watch this because it's you and me, pal.
Yes,
Real
it is.
quick, also, there was some other person that was on this show that we neglected to mention. FX from New Jersey was with.
Who'd he ever beat?
NFX.
Was
So
Try me.
I definitely want to get to that whenever we get to my match with him later.
Okay. And so that would be the repurposed.
There's your boy.
Madonna.
Out of
Yeah, the
control.
repurpose out of control entry.
It
Because
is, yeah.
that's I was like, okay, well, I want to
Little J.
I want this to be good. I want this to feel, different and special. And I was like, well, what do we have? How can we use what we have to...
Do we do that weird, sorry,
No, you're good.
the Hurricane Rana thing, or the
Yeah.
weird head scissors.
Probably.
We do like a weird head scissors in this
We're
match.
about to find out.
Yeah.
No, so it's not. I don't know what the fuck to call it. It's not even a head scissors. It's just like
It's
you guys
weird.
both turn into one person and front flip for a half a second.
Yeah, it'll happen.
I think I did it a little. I went the wrong direction or something.
but
I
it
might
made
have
it
as well,
cooler.
though.
It like you were supposed to be doing what you did, kind of.
Not everybody was here yet, obviously.
No, that's another thing.
I forgot
was
about that.
super late.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
They were
that's right.
super late.
That's when the
because
song changed.
FX was in the car, and he needed...
Boom! Look at Dominic, first person to bump on the stage ever.
That was
Didn't
sick.
hurt at all, by the way.
You were
It
so
was
excited
soft.
for it.
I was.
First person to ever do that. We threw
So
the chain link
strong.
fence on there too.
I
just to
was
make it
really
look
cool with the back and the front of the head, but never the neck, I
That's
guess.
fair.
I guess, yeah.
Oh goodness.
FX was in the car and needed money, and then just figured, yeah, I live near Philadelphia. That's in PA. Never mind the fact that it is completely on the other side
Literally.
of PA. So I remember, Rick, you called them asking where they were.
Here it is. Here it comes.
Come here.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
I slowed it down for you guys because I knew we would talk about it.
It's just weird that you came in straight on. You came in for a Hurricane Rana.
Everything
but
was
did a
backwards.
tilt-a-whirl head scissors.
I love it.
Yeah, I remember you called and
Tap
you asked
that.
where they were, and they said Philadelphia.
I am.
You're like, are you serious? Are you kidding?
Right.
And they
Yeah,
were
that looks like it
serious.
hurts.
That's all three of them taps. You guys remember this match?
Yeah,
Good match.
You're my boy, man. I used to love wrestling you more than
Yeah,
anybody in this whole world. I'll wrestle you right now.
We probably could still do a good match. Like, I feel like we still have that weird, like, intro and chemistry, yeah, that would put on a match.
Was this like the most pressure that you guys felt in front of other people?
No,
No?
I always felt most comfortable with you.
No,
like
if-
if I had no offense to any is, but I mean you lived down the street from me for
Yeah.
our whole lives, so that's all we did was just play on the trampoline.
Yeah, we wrestled each other 5 times a day. Like,
Yeah.
ETW tape 1 through 11 is me and Josh
Yep.
100 times. Like, that's what it was.
So you're telling me I need to find ETW.
Listen,
tape 1 through
although those
11.
tapes are missing, and I know what I just explained doesn't sound important,
I want
but
it.
you need to see Mad Dog versus Little J at least 100 times
To get it.
exactly, to understand why I'm tapping here.
Yeah.
You know,
we didn't have to really call anything. Like this is probably a lot of the stuff we probably did here was at that when backyards collide.
yes, we just would
match.
copy the beginning of
Yeah,
it
yeah,
usually.
yeah. We had our little dance. We
Yeah,
called it.
yeah.
So like had like a whole storyline within you guys that only you knew about, like everything going on in this match. Is
Basically,
that what
we
you're
had
saying?
like a pre-created match that we always wrestled, and it just had random things sprinkled in it. Like, we'd always do the same 5 to 6 moves, right?
Yeah,
And
guess
like
so.
it would always start the same way, but then we just add little things we'd want, and that was our way of like.
it out.
Because people
like
would
it.
see
Get a
us and
little
like we would do
spice.
random stuff, and I
little
I,
zhuzh, you know?
I remember a comment like I was watching one of the videos. It was like a music video, and it was either me or you or me and JP that did a move, and I like flip, and I just hear someone go, "Dom's good," and I'm thinking in my head like, not really.
I mean, I'm
That's
alright.
you
Fake it till you
accentuating
make it.
your
Yeah,
strengths, hiding
exactly.
your weakness. Now, real quick, to kind of counter what Rick asked, did this feel any different performing in a yard that wasn't Josh's, that wasn't JP's, in front of people that you didn't necessarily know, that we perceived to be the start of a big show? Either of you.
Kind of all of it. I would say that the only thing that kept this like from feeling way worse was that I was wrestling him, because I'm like, okay, well, if I wrestle Josh, we know what to do, we can look good. But I definitely didn't. I never did any type of training, and I always kind of like scoffed at like the nuances of wrestling. So I had to kind of figure out how to go from trampoline dom to this version, because I was just expected to show up and wrestle. So all of that stuff amplified when it's not Josh, and then when it is Josh, it's like
Right.
it's like a little safe bubble. He'd hold me, you know,
Right.
and like cradle me.
That's
Because
Still
you
would.
guys,
Yeah.
you guys actually did wrestle each other on the base. That would have been ETW versus KPW. You guys wrestled
We
each
did.
other. So
We
what
probably
was the
wrestled each
first
other
time?
so many times.
But I mean, it was like a different area. So if there was a comfortability,
I would say this had like the same almost big fight feel as like Out of Control did.
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as like the day goes, like,
But
it was an
not as
important
big.
day.
So
Not
you're-
as big. I
okay.
was like the most important day of my life.
Right, and you were a little younger too, so yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Right.
but Because there wasn't really a lot of people there at this time, right?
Right.
This was like
Correct.
before everybody kind of got there.
So that's like kind of the story that we were getting at while the watch along was going on. But FX lived in New Jersey, and Ohio decides to drive from Ohio through Pittsburgh to New Jersey to pick up FX and to drive him back to Pittsburgh all on day one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Forgot about that shit show.
Yeah, and DC Doom was like, yeah, I'll do it. Like, nicest guy in the world. That's why, so you'll see a lot of him in these, but he's just such a good dude. He helped me out during my return from JAS. Like, my car ran out of gas because they pointed me the wrong direction to a gas station, and I'm like just driving until the car goes on E. I'm on the side of the road. He's the only person that answers his phone. He's like, stay there, I'll find you. He's
as if you could drive away.
Right, yeah. I mean, obviously, right? Yeah, good point. Fucking fills up a gas can, finds us like a half an hour later, fills my car up. He's like, go ahead, bud, get home safe. And I'm like, can I give him some money or something? He's like, nah, dude, have a nice trip. Like, I'm sorry they pointed you the wrong way. And like, I'm like, well, then you get good bookings at BYS. Like,
There it
step
is.
one, have
Be
a
a
good
good
show.
person.
He knows how to
Step
play the
two, be
game.
my friend.
What's
Right.
that kid's name we were talking? Yeah.
Josh, DC Doom.
No, the other kid
Oh,
with the
Cody
podcast.
Shadow Jake.
Take notes.
Dang,
No.
Answer your phone.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
And me and Ed were really excited when this match happened because we're like, these dudes are with us now. Like, we're all together.
Dominic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we
It's
were,
official.
all the situations were
Did
coming
you guys
together.
look at each other, give a little wink?
It's
like,
so
we
crazy
made
that
it?
I
No,
knew
we
none
just
of
went
this.
and gave each other the old left-handed. You know?
All right.
Like, I didn't know that we were there to try to, like, infiltrate.
Yeah, right.
I didn't know that this
I don't
was a
think I
big
knew
day
that.
for Josh. I didn't know that you were excited. I was just there to eat Burger King.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
That was a really
Crazy.
good part of
Like, I
wrestling with you
definitely
guys.
enjoyed it, but, like,
Glad you guys love Burger King as much as we do.
I don't know if I remember the context.
I
Maybe
feel
I'm missing
like,
it.
I feel like I may have told you the idea, but just like, you know,
Slid
just,
off, like-
you know, you're just a pawn in this chess game.
Yeah.
So why, you know, you
That
needed
probably
your
helped me,
role.
though. That
Yeah.
probably helped me feel more comfortable. Oh, this is the day from all the pictures.
Right. Yeah, talk out
I
loud.
forgot Brian
talk,
was in
Ed.
the crowd.
That's
Look at that,
Dream.
man.
I was sick. I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Rick.
Who's the bigger dude?
That was
Dream.
Dream.
Where'd he come
Well, let's
from?
not confuse the
KPW,
audience.
Dream and
That's
Animal.
Lil Ryder. That's not Ed, right?
No,
I felt like we almost went down that path.
Right. Absolutely.
Rick, do you remember who picked the color scheme of neon blue?
I did. It was my favorite thing.
I was
on
going to
there.
ask. That must have been you because I did the.
Yep.
JP, I think you maybe helped me paint the entranceway on my front porch.
Yeah.
After school, and then we kind of like kept the neon blue
Yep.
theme, and then like we did the Jackson Pollock concept. Because I think the graphic I had made at that point,
Yep.
or vice, one of them influenced the other. Clearly,
Yeah, that was my favorite color on earth. I wanted everything. Like, that filter that I made to start the show is because in real life I was looking at this show through that filter. Like, just fucking Carolina Tar Heel blue,
Oh, did
and
he
my
kick you in the
world's
head?
nothing but good
In the
things,
face.
you know?
I also wanted to point out that the dramatic revelation of the entranceway
Was so good.
That's pretty cool, especially because how simple it is versus how elaborate it got for BYS4.
Yeah.
And then we kind of, in a way, oh, look at that.
How does Kevin and JP have the same body language?
Yeah, dude, that's what was so crazy because this match was kind of booked on the fly.
So
too.
I remember this
good.
getting really over though. Like everybody
Yep.
was really into
It's
this match.
so
This
good.
was a good match.
I don't remember this.
18, man.
Yep.
Dude, this is a
The
fin-
champ.
yeah.
It's funny how like BYS4 it's like yeah we need to go hard and then come BYS5 it's like we don't need to try so hard we're here
Right.
and
We're
they
here.
didn't give a shit about the entranceway
Yep.
at all.
We're going to Eaton Park after this,
Yeah,
guys.
right.
We
We definitely did go to Eaton Park after
JP,
BYS5.
that was a beautiful moonsault and
Thank
high
you.
leg kick.
Yeah.
Thank
This
you.
is
then
a phenomenal match.
Oh, man.
Love it. Dude,
Busted
I
lip?
fucking love when these guys these guys wrestled each other at SCAW
Yeah, I was gonna say they're
versus
in the triple
KPW.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys were familiar somewhat.
I really liked wrestling him because he's a ridiculous athlete.
Yep.
Yes.
I agree with that very much.
Yes. I used
Wasn't
to
he a
always.
collegiate wrestler or something?
I would always try to like shoot wrestle him in the ring just for fun.
Yeah.
And he would whoop my ass.
Oh,
it's
he's
him.
a
Always,
freak.
yeah.
Did you do that with someone else too? Was it Devin?
It might have been, yeah.
maybe.
Because I mean, that was like one of my things. Like I wanted to prove that I could like out wrestle someone, and he. Oh my God, did he win?
Dude, he's a freak. He's an absolute freak.
I remember the
The Jimmy versus the Jimmy. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Whenever we booked this match, it was just because of the names, and then whenever we actually saw him in person, we were like not quite sure how it was gonna go. But let me tell you, this is actually pretty fucking good.
Yeah, he was an amazing wrestler.
And Jimmy P was fine sometimes. Like, he was a bit of a hard ass, but like whenever it came to doing stuff, he wasn't the worst. Like, he wasn't Deke the Freak, that's for sure.
Honestly,
he had a good attitude with it. You know,
not to beat a dead horse, but like this is a perfect example. Like Jimmy Nutter came in and he's wrestling Jimmy P.
Exactly.
Like, who is Jimmy P? And like, look what he does with
he made the best of it.
Right.
Yeah. And this was also like the first time, not thinking about it, the first time I had seen the KPW guys since that KPW versus
SCAW.
Yeah, I want to say, and Nutter had lost a ton of weight, and I legitimately didn't even recognize him. He cut his hair.
I forgot he used to be a big fat fella.
I was like,
he's a stud.
I was so confused. I was like, who are you, man? Good for you. Good for you.
His YouTube channel is fantastic too.
Yes, he's been watching the podcast. He's been talked about a lot in this one, so I hope he watches again.
Nothing but love for James.
We've only talked like a little bit of shit.
Missed
like,
that guy.
That's another thing though about like not liking your booking. If you're an actual professional wrestler and you get booked to be on some show that's in another state, 2 states away, you may not know who you're going to wrestle. You may not like who it is either, but you're going to do it. And
that should feel fun and adventurous.
Right.
Chicken salad out of chicken shit, isn't that the saying?
I can't believe I got to wrestle fucking
remember
garbage can.
We put the fence, I don't know where we got the fence from, but we laid it down, and I remember and how slippery the fence was on that platform.
Yeah, who is Animal?
Who the fuck is Animal?
We're all asking.
Talk about it.
Who the fuck is Animal, dude? Animal was the 5th KPW guy. It was Scott Brumley, James Nutter, Genocide, Animal, and Dream.
Does he have a real name?
I don't know.
I only ever knew them as Dream and Animal.
That was the only time he ever came.
The only time he ever came.
He showed up.
Unfortunately.
All right, so Quinn hits this backflip here.
Oh no!
He had never done this before, right?
He had never done this
big,
before.
but
This is why they say don't try this at home. This is exactly why they say
And
that.
let me also just point out that at no point, at least in ETW, when we had a goddamn trampoline, was Quinn ever the flippy guy. Never.
Dude,
He
the
gained a lot of
funniest
nerve. He just didn't gravitate towards the talent side. He
the
just
funniest part about all of this right now for me is that it makes so much sense. I have no idea what's about to happen.
well, buckle up because
it's pretty awesome.
This is the Brock Lesnar of our show.
He was like talking this up all
Here it is.
before the day.
Here we go.
Oh my god, that could have been so bad.
That should have been our logo.
Why did he try to do that?
He's lucky that the
at
bottom
him just
half of
laying
his
there,
body
dude.
is like 3 times the length of the
Bless
top
his heart.
half.
You know what? Props to him. The dude believed in himself. He had no reason to believe
Honestly.
in
The
himself.
biggest problem was he was just too damn tall. Like he had
we
the
lowered
motion, he had the speed, he had the distance. He was just too tall. Like,
And the moxie.
Let's rewatch it because I actually want to see his technique. Now he didn't really commit to it.
it was the arm.
He
bailed.
He hesitated. He practically did it, but he doubted himself
Fucking
in that
awesome.
last second. And to be fair, shooting star press is terrifying.
Yeah.
It's so hard
I've
to
only
do.
done one once in my life, and okay, so at this point, now they had shown up, and
They
it's
finally
nighttime.
show up. It's not.
I had to wrestle at night. God damn it! Sorry, that's not in the quote.
Was there a long waiting period to start again? I don't remember.
Yes, there was. I remember specifically, we had so much time to kill, and we had all the tires left over. We're like, well, let's put the tires back on the base. And we fucked around with it. We're like, all right, let's take them off.
Yep.
And they still weren't here.
Yep.
There were so much. And then when they showed up, it was nighttime. So
And
like,
we
what
were
do we
ill-equipped to handle wrestling in the woods at night. In
Way to go get your car.
We got mine and DC Doom's car.
Yeah,
and
I
drove them
remember
both
that.
Into the woods.
Which we never had even considered at that point.
Right, it
Yeah.
wasn't even a thought of a possibility, but it's like we could try, and it worked. We got 2 angles of headlights, and we're in the woods. And like of all the times the cops probably could have showed up, this one, I guess nobody noticed or whatever. Maybe the apartments just didn't care and let us do our thing. But
And to be completely honest, how cool is it that we resorted to, the fact that like we're gonna wrestle, we're gonna find out how to do this, we're gonna make this work.
Yes.
And it's funny because like we could have very easily deviated from what you had booked and done other matches in between time just to, do stuff. We probably went and got food and stuff like that. But we could have got more footage out of it, right?
Right.
But no, we stuck to what we had, and we're like, we're going to wait until they show up, and then we're going to fix this problem that we're presented with by driving 2 cars into the field. And it looks so cool. It's unfortunate that we didn't get to see it too often because of the angle, but like the shot of the 2 cars, like that, it just looks so cool to me. Like, what's more backyard wrestling than that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you needed to do something, and you needed backyard wrestling is like so makeshift, So you just were like, well, let's get some lights back here.
Yeah. Right.
And it was cars.
Yeah, they showed up so late that Brandon didn't even wrestle day 1 of BYS1, which is crazy for me to think about.
What was it, like a 10-hour round trip?
Yeah, forever, right? And everybody else in the car wrestled but Brandon. Even so much to the point when FX showed up, I was like, dude, we ain't got to wrestle. And he's like, I just drove from New Jersey to here. I want to wrestle.
How did you feel about this match? Did you like it?
I thought it was all right, but, dude, we didn't plan a single spot. Every single second of this was on the fly.
Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, I was going to say, how could you?
Yeah.
He just showed up.
And like, I didn't want to do it, and he did, so the whole thing's on the fly. We never even met each other until an hour before this.
Now, do you remember who Brandon was supposed to wrestle with?
No?
Huh.
No.
Wonder if he does.
Yeah, that's
Woo!
weird.
Uh-oh. Cookie alert.
Yo!
I thought, for some reason, my first thought was there was a spider behind it. It's so much better than a spider.
Pass those things.
Fucking best leg drop ever off the base.
You just throw them on the...
Yeah.
Just throw him on the floor?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Do what we gotta do.
Oh, this is the old running boy, I think.
Man,
Or did I
was gonna say
miss
something
it?
really dirty, but I'm gonna save it.
You can splurge.
We could all stand around this tray of cookies. You know what I'm saying? Put a little icing on them.
Are you talking about Ookie Cookie?
Come on now.
Ookie Cookie.
I sure am.
I've explained that game to people who don't know what it is.
I think Mifflin Man.
Well, we could show them. We have a lot of cameras.
Oh boy, what's about to happen?
Count me out for the next 10 minutes.
Rick, that was a move I was actually not really willing to take.
The
this-
backstabber.
Yeah, I
Is
didn't
this
like
the first time? I'm sorry.
No, that was it.
Is this the first time we all met FX?
Yeah.
Because I remember we were all like infatuated with
Yeah.
him after this.
I
And
really
then-
liked him.
And then we met him again, and we were like,
I don't remember that part.
he was like special effects here, and now he's just like a fucking sparkler. Now,
Day 1 main event of BYS1.
Is that my
Hack
belt?
Edgerman versus the guy who saved me on the side of the road. That was your belt for the
Hell
first
yeah.
time. That made its debut.
So you were the first one to hold it in
Yep.
SWC.
SWC.
It's all alphabet soup.
Yeah, I only remember half of them.
SWC is the important letters.
Man,
She
we
made
really
one
should
plate
have
for
duct
you, and
taped
then the
that
rest were for
tarp
us.
down.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of memory of this match. Like,
You didn't
I
like it.
remember it
did a
happening.
lot of
And
things with the base.
You,
Name 3 of them.
I remember you didn't
Disinfected
like it.
every now and again.
we had a plan
Yeah,
really
that thing
fast.
was
None of us got
disgusting.
sick. Ring
Yeah.
nothing.
That's how you think you got the name Sick Rick.
I do like that from
Thank you.
This is where the cooties started.
Hack Edgerman. He was hacking up a lung. I don't think I
Boom.
keep going.
I guess that was my attempt at a big bump for the show.
Did Josh's car die after this, or was that your car, Rick?
I don't remember.
Okay, well, probably Josh's then.
Yeah.
because the
In music
battery
video
died.
form, it looks pretty decent. It's not horrible.
What, the
This
match?
match, yeah.
I mean, I just remember you being upset after it was over.
I probably just didn't like the way I thought it
Probably
went.
because you didn't have that much time to plan it.
Yeah, that too, and it was dark out.
Wait, what planet were we on?
I was sick.
Oh, wait! FX! Is he in this match?
Oh, fuck, I forgot about that.
What?
No, he just interfered.
Oh, you wrestled on day 2.
Yep. No. Yes. Yes. But no, he attacked DC Doom, though, so that wouldn't
He
make any
helped
sense anyway.
Oh, because he wanted the title. He wanted
Right.
to wrestle Ed for the title. There you go. Made it make sense.
This was actually day 1 of a 3-day show because we were idiots. It was like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 3-day show.
Yeah.
Was that true?
Yeah.
Because at this
Middle
point,
of
we
the
had
fucking
just
week.
graduated.
Yeah.
The 3 of us just graduated high school.
Why
Right.
did we
So
do
did
it
I.
in the middle of the week?
Your own
Yeah.
time?
Reason
because,
for that?
Because we couldn't really necessarily do the weekend because that's when our graduation was.
Yeah,
Ah.
my graduation happened that Monday night, and then Tuesday BYS started.
And then ours was Saturday.
Right. Yep.
Or Friday.
So so this was just on a fucking roll. No, it was
Alex-
Friday because Saturday was sloppy seconds.
Alex and Chewy were at our graduation, but not here.
Yeah, like they came in for the graduation because Alex couldn't make this, but he was like, "Well, I'm making your graduation no matter what."
Graduation was after or before?
After BYS 3.
I graduated the night before.
I got you.
So then they were...
Congratulations.
Thank you. Same to you. Eventually, like a year and a half from now.
A year later.
Yeah.
And then everybody stayed at my house after this, which would be a reoccurring fucking thing.
Yeah. and that's the thing. It was like, I never felt the need to hook people up with places to stay because I thought that was something you were supposed to find on your own.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I never, anytime I ever went anywhere, I never expect, like, we stayed at Pam's place a lot in Allentown, but we were kind of like VIPs there.
Yeah.
And
we established that. We made sure. Then somebody had said, "Yeah, you guys can stay here anytime."
Right.
That's FX. Muhammad
But whenever
X.
people came here, they just assumed who's housing us.
Right. Also, I just want to shout out. Let's keep count of the masked wrestlers that are wrestling, which are actually double booking, which just goes to show.
Yeah, what the fuck is going on?
How bare bones BYS 1 was versus how overstacked BYS 5 was.
Yeah,
is this a triple threat match?
No, this is like
They're
Skeletor and Muhammad X were on this. So Quinn just really wanted to wrestle FX, but FX was already booked in that triple threat later. So
I forgot we did this.
Me too.
So the idea behind having you guys wrestle each other with the CTK angle was kind of we can't let them think there's something going on. And then eventually it turned into, then I would wrestle CTK members as a way of like a gang mentality of jumping them in. But that was the idea. Like the seeds were planted, CTK angle is starting, but you guys are wrestling each other so they don't think anything's up.
Did I not come today too?
So yeah, you're here eventually, but you don't wrestle.
You probably were invited to a graduation party because there was a ton.
Yeah,
seriously,
honestly.
there was a ton that way. I remember. I think my graduation party was actually scheduled for that Friday.
Oh,
Or something. But then it rained, so we had to like reschedule.
You on the
Oh boy. I don't. Wait, really?
Boom!
It was safe, but it was good.
Which that came from your ETW days, right?
Yeah,
you
the head
actually
rush.
did the head rush, and then
Yeah.
you actually started doing that.
Oh, so you
Right.
stopped dropping straight down.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah,
see.
yeah.
I got you.
JP,
Still
you remember
safer.
that one at all?
No.
No, but you do remember the genocide one a little bit, right?
I do remember
Yeah.
the genocide one, yes.
Yeah.
This looks upscaled.
Yeah, everything is. Yeah, dude, this has been so good. Upscaling has changed my life, dude. Like, looking at all this terrible quality media that's out there and cleaning it has been so fun.
That's nice.
What the hell's an Ambrose?
Can somebody hand me with a cookie?
I think that was Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, but like.
It's an Italian last name.
Is it? Okay, like, because if I'm
Who
in a
is
tag
Ambrose?
team, I'm like, that's just
Wait,
odd.
is that the wrestler's name? Just
That's
Ambrose?
their tag team name.
Oh,
Ambrose.
that's
That's
odd.
Cody and Katonic.
Yeah, it does sound like a
Now, this is
restaurant.
the first time Katonic wrestled then? He didn't wrestle day one?
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
Remember when he kicked you in the face, Josh?
I do. Remember when I brought that up a little bit ago?
Oh, my bad. My bad. I just think
You
about
never
it a
listen
lot.
when I talk.
Here's the thing about that, which I love that happened, and we'll talk about why.
Kicked in the face?
I'm sorry that it was you, but I
go
love
fuck
Wait,
it.
did you tell him to do it?
No.
He said he did.
I did.
Just kick him. He don't care.
No.
Oh, no, I did not say that.
I mean, Caleb's legs are really long, so
He has a big old
film
skate
it.
shoes.
I feel like that was me.
I feel like you're still mad at me for kicking you in the head.
It's all good, brother.
The look in your eye when you brought it up, dude.
Yeah, I feel like I specifically, because I'm like, I remember being like super stressed. Like, I have all these people in my house that I don't know, but like we're clicking, and I know that I'm doing something that I had said that I would never do, and there might be serious repercussions from it coming up. And I was super stressed this week, and I was just trying to mask it as well as I could by being as like goofy. This is fun.
Nice slippers. Thanks, babe.
Just kind of essentially fucking around. I
Being
forgot
over
you
the top.
used to do that.
Who did?
You used to wear.
Yeah, I know. I forgot I did that too. This match was insanely fun.
Well, wait, why is his belt so much bigger?
His mom bought him the real one.
Damn.
You should have seen the ladder he climbed it. He
Jeez, I was gonna say, yeah, the giant beanstalk.
Solid comment.
Was
So-
his title any more important?
This match was no, his was like the CBYW secondary title, I believe.
was it?
I believe.
Proof,
Unless
guys.
it
Bigger
ended
isn't
up
always
being
better.
Eventually, when you had it, remember, like then you tried to give it to Dominic or like some weird shit. We'll talk about all that. But
I thought he was like one of the GBYWN champions.
no, not
You're a fabricator now, aren't you? Couldn't you make a championship title belt?
Maybe.
You should.
Can you
Maybe.
make me a belt buckle? No? I really want a belt
So
buckle.
this match was also supposed to have Devin Bliss in it, but he canceled on BYS1 like the week leading up to it. This was Ed's idea. He called it the Interfed National 4-Way, where it was just 4 people from all over the country
That's
wrestling
cool.
each other. Yeah.
That was my idea?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I don't remember that.
Yeah. But whenever Devin couldn't make it, I just kept it with these 3 dudes and rolled it.
I mean, it makes sense because up until this point, there was never the opportunity to have you 3 together, right?
Yep, absolutely.
So why not do something unique? I was working with FX.
I mean, I remember having a blast in this match.
Brandon remembers being a little upset that he didn't get enough shit in.
Well, I remember FX wanting to
Okay,
basically
I gotta
plan the
talk
whole
about-
match, right?
I'm sorry.
Or was that a different one?
So FX wanting to plan this whole match, that's what Brandon said too.
That's not something that's the first time I've heard.
Right, yeah. And it happened to you again.
Yeah,
because
when
you-
we wrestled in
Your
at
own-
JAS,
your
he
first time
wanted to
you
do the whole
traveled.
match, yeah.
Yeah, what was
I
that?
love
JS2.
cookies, man.
Yeah, I remember that vividly, but now I remember him trying to do it on this match too.
Yeah.
And then when Josh wrestled him, we had learned.
Yeah, that's
That
right.
was something-
Is that when I was Average Joe? I think that was the match, huh?
Right. So in the background of this match is my favorite thing to watch myself do in the crowd. So like my best friend Eddie Hack is in this match and he is killing it against Beast Snow, who I am quickly becoming really close friends with, and I love watching him wrestle. And FX is doing cool shit too. So these guys are killing it. It's at the show I booked, and everything is going fucking swimmingly for old Sick Rick. So yeah, right. I'm in the crowd, rock fucking hard, ready to. I will come anytime these men ask me to. So a couple of times they say, "Yo, Rick, shoot it," and I'm like, "How far?" So I get up and start running and doing laps around this bitch, and I'm just looking like a crazy guy in the crowd. The entire time, DC Doom keeps waiting. He keeps waiting for me to
remember
react
this.
and then copying my reaction. And I love you, Josh, so much, but this is so funny.
I remember that.
This is hilarious.
So like the match is really good, and I don't want to take too much away from that by watching this, but it's so funny.
But you gotta get your shit in.
Right? Yeah, true.
It's gonna happen now, right?
Right. I mean, it happens throughout this match here.
Oh my god, I forgot all about that. That was so funny. Like a little kid that didn't know what to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Well, he's reacting, so I need to react.
I remember a lot. I feel like there was a lot of on-the-fly things in this match, like that, for example.
Really?
That was
That
not.
was on the fly?
I'm like
Oh my
99%
gosh,
sure.
that was
Yeah.
cool. Ugh. Now, did you
Yeah, he didn't know what was coming.
Best spiral tap in the
Yeah.
game.
I got so lucky. I'm so glad I didn't fuck that up.
That was beautiful.
Thank
It
you.
was
I mean,
perfect.
couldn't have been any worse than Quinn shooting Star Press.
I'm sorry, Brandon, for
So
this.
there I go. I'm jumping now.
All right, now it's started.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got.
This.
That was cool. I forgot about that.
Okay, I'm trying to
Yep.
keep the.
Here it is.
Oh,
Here's
shit.
cards.
There we go.
Now
was
I'm
sick.
Up, I'm up jumping around. So Josh gets up. Now we're both standing. I do the jump. He sees me.
Now, did you recognize this in the moment?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Did he say recognize?
Recognize.
It's
Recognize.
that I'm jumping. He's doing
I
it. Jumping
didn't even see him
harder.
looking at you.
So wait, he's not mimicking you. He's just trying to feed off the
Yeah,
energy. Okay,
right.
that's cute.
So he's not playing around.
No.
That's
I love
adorable.
that, dude, I love that.
That's-
So then here's
yeah.
one that he reacts to all crazy, and then he looks at me, and I'm not reacting, and he stops reacting.
That's adorable.
It is.
It's that right there because I came up with that
And
spot.
then he starts.
Oh, then he like scratched his head. Yeah.
I came up with
Has
that
he never
spot,
seen
so I
a
knew it was
wrestling match
coming.
before? Like he's one of the wrestlers,
He
right?
didn't want to be the only one reacting.
Yeah.
So he's like,
Oh,
well, I can't
okay.
look dumb.
I see. That's yeah.
If Rick didn't react, then I shouldn't.
That's so funny.
I can't believe I let him do that to me. I didn't even really know him that well.
Wow, what a guy.
Boom.
What a nice.
That was a nice bump by
what a
Brandon.
legend.
This spot.
Oh, that was sick.
I do remember when he gave me that Trapper Keeper. I don't remember. I felt nothing. Like it was
Yeah.
so safe.
Yeah, Brandon's really good.
I hear that's what the ladies say when you take them out.
Wow.
Oh gosh.
little
Every
Argos
time you
special
go over
coming.
here, something good happens.
Now, whose camera are we using?
Oh fuck! Why? Who was shaking trying to film this?
Yeah, it's
Probably Nate,
not
to be
doing a good
honest.
job.
This was sloppy.
Because I don't see me. Ugh.
Yikes, that looked like it hurt.
It hurt.
Did we ever use your camera here?
Probably not.
I don't think
used
so. We were
Steve's
past
camera for a
tapes.
while.
That's
You
how it
used to send
ended.
Ground Zero
Speaking
stuff.
of, it's
Did I?
right there.
Yeah.
This thing should be in the Smithsonian.
Yeah,
So,
in a
do you
museum.
remember? Do you love this match? Were you happy afterwards?
I remember being really happy with this match. Yeah,
Yeah, you were like. we
I remember
fucking
the
did
crowd getting crazy, and I felt really good about it. Yeah.
thing. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
you
we
were
were
on
on
the move,
bananas.
ready to go. Love
Fuck
wrestling
yeah.
Brandon, obviously.
Oh,
Everybody
yeah.
did.
I think I wrestled him once, maybe.
Brandon?
I think so.
Huh.
I wrestled him as Skeletor.
I also just want to
Maybe
point
that's
out
how it happened.
Yeah.
For
the
me.
bump that you took on the entranceway, like that's just pallets. Like those are literally just pallets and plywood.
Right.
I don't remember having that many.
You're telling me
extra
you've
tires.
never had a conversation
Yeah,
with
we're in the
DC
bottom of the
Doom
base.
about DC shoes.
Really?
I don't
Yeah,
think,
with the
man.
whole bottom
I really
line that we
don't.
wanna use.
Josh, do you find that odd?
Didn't you get seriously
JP
injured
never
in this
had a
match?
conversation.
Yeah, I get
Yes, he
fucked
did.
up
With
in this
DC
match.
Doom about DC shoes. That's all he wore.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. He's also a big fan, apparently. But I don't think we ever did.
Is that how we
You're-
got the name DC? Dude?
You're reffing
DC
his
shirt.
match.
I'm reffing his match in a DC shirt.
DC shirt. You never were like, yo, we're DC homies.
That's a
Well,
DC
we
shirt.
weren't like, hey, you're wearing a Fox shirt.
That is true. There
That's
were
just the style.
there was one store and it was PacSun.
I just probably thought, finally, a guy with some style.
Which is funny because I always wore DC shoes, but I never got the shirts. Interesting.
He moved out of the way there and didn't tell me, and I got mad, so I kicked him when he came flying by.
JP, you're a
looked a
very
little
interactive
That was a hard
referee. I'm
kick,
just
too.
seeing this for the first
Dude,
time.
I'm the worst referee because I forgot that I was refereeing.
You would have that problem. For sure.
Yeah.
Did that hurt?
Yeah.
It
yeah,
looked like it. It looked
sucked.
muddy too.
But it was cool because I got up and Jimmy P was looking down at me smiling. He's like, yeah, kid, do it.
Ugh.
I'd like to think he's looking down on all of us right now.
I like
No, he's looking off at us. Let's be honest.
We've pronounced him dead a few times.
And he is burning in hell.
I think
Hammer
knows
just
what he
died.
I think I enjoyed refereeing so much because I got to be in the action
Right.
while watching, to the point where I forgot that I was supposed to do things.
Did it count? Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of great referees, shout out Big Will.
Shout out Big Will.
Team! I don't think I ever met him.
Eric, were you happy with this match when it was
Yeah,
all said and done?
I was happy with this match, very fucking happy with this match, up until about 2 spots after this.
What, when you got hurt?
Yeah.
Oh, don't you almost die or something?
Yeah. Oh man, first of all, that was pretty
Holy
rough.
Yeah,
Fuck.
we went. All this was cool. I was going hard on purpose. I wanted to fight each other, and me and him were homies. Like I really did like him a lot.
This was false count anyway.
Someone-
there a hole?
yeah.
Wasn't there a
This
hole
is-
over there?
There was, yeah.
This is
love-
life changing.
All right, I'm not gonna look at this because I can't
Oh,
anymore.
fuck! I remember now!
Also, shout out to this being false count anywhere when the last match. Oh!
Dude, you could have
Lord.
fucking died.
I know. I
The
hate
last
it, dude.
match
It ruined my
also-
life.
I mean, it is safe to say that has had lasting effects.
Yeah, you're right. The last
Yeah.
match, they took it upon themselves to be false
Make
count
it
anywhere.
about you, kid.
This
Oh,
match
I was
was
handing you the chairs or
this
whatever.
match was supposed to end much differently, and Ed knew what was supposed to happen. And
You keep
by
getting
the
yourself
time
confused with Lil Ryder.
when we made it over here. When we made it over here, Ed's like, fuck him up, dude. And I start throwing chairs, so Ed runs over to grab him and starts like a chair assembly. And he's still trying, give me your chair.
Because you only had one chair, and you threw it down, and
Yep.
then you immediately picked it back up, and Ed realized you needed some toys.
Yeah, the whole end of that match wasn't supposed to happen like
Did you
that.
feel
but
his
after-
wiener on your forearm when you pinned him?
Yes.
So
Nice.
what was the finish supposed to be?
I don't remember. I don't, because we would have done it.
I feel like it probably
Why did it
was
get
probably
next?
the power bomb.
Why did it get
No,
next?
it wasn't. No,
No.
there was more after. Because I died. I don't know what happened after that. Like, we
Oh, you
just-
blacked out.
I didn't have. Well, I was awake, like I was dead man walking style, but it was one of those situations where I didn't know what we had planned for the end of it, and we just worked our way over to the stage, and he took my lead, which was not the move to be doing at the time. So I end up throwing chairs at his head because you're just like, here you go. Like, it was not the correct maneuver to make.
It's a good friend.
Yeah. We're on to BYS 1 day 3 now.
3 whole
And
days.
The beginning of BYS 1 day 3 was something that we had been working on for months to get to this opportunity.
Whew.
Just want to point out that in between this, after day 2, there was a severe thunderstorm warning. I
Crazy.
remember this clear as day. It's one of my favorite memories. It was like flash flooding and stuff like that. We happened to be up at the pizza stop with Ohio, and it was like so dangerous, and like the news was on, and it was like literally counting the amount of lightning strikes were in the area. And Julie, who works at the pizza, who owns it, was like, "You guys can't leave." Like it was like terrible, and like there was like debris all over the place. And I remember specifically this morning we had to wake up and go pick up Alex, and I think you drove, maybe Snow drove. I don't know, but there was just like stuff everywhere, and I was like terrified of like
to go back to the base.
What is the base
right.
going to look like?
Right. Yeah. Same thing.
If it was this bad, and like it was just such a core memory of like. We don't really have too many dangerous things in Pittsburgh as far as weather's concerned.
Right. Yep.
So to have that severe lightning storm was pretty wild.
And I had the same feeling, and I woke up early as shit, and I'm like, let's see what's going on over there. And I just walk my ass over into the woods, and I get back there, and it looks like a beautiful spring afternoon. Like, it is barely wet. Shit is not crazy. It is perfectly wrestleable, and to the point where people didn't even really get muddy wrestling this day. Like, it wasn't even an issue at all. Which was very shocking. So to start, or to end day 2, actually, Ed threw out an open challenge for his current SWC championship.
And at this point, he's under the impression that he will be wrestling JP to initially start the CTK angle. This is when all the culmination happens. So he's expecting JP.
Wait, in real life?
In real life, we told you were wrestling JP.
Come on now.
This is true. But 2 days before the show, I spoiled it.
I think you remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, because you didn't want me to freak the fuck out.
And you would have.
And I would have.
You would have.
So like that's why JP's the center point, because we wanted him to appear like he was the thing. But this is the first official. CTK's back, but wait a second, we're missing 2 members. We're missing Dom and Josh. You're not there.
I'm right there.
But you're not with us. Because no, you were there. You didn't come out with us.
This is the day that I attack Ed, right?
This is the storyline.
Yeah.
This is the original CTK from 2007. So it just appears to be just the 4 of us. And then what happens
Hold on 1
later.
second.
Yeah, I remember.
I don't think I want that title shot.
He knew. He looked everywhere but Steve, and then he's like, attack me.
I remember specifically looking down at you, and you looked like the look on your face. I'll never forget. You looked like a newborn baby, but like in the sense of like
what? Like I was happy, or
no? Like you had no idea. You couldn't comprehend reality. You know, you have just been birthed, and you don't know in this environment. And I remember the look on your face and your beautiful blue eyes, and I remember like how frozen your arms were, and I was like, oh my God, he's freaking out right now, because I was under the impression you didn't know.
Well, no, so here's the thing. Even though I spoiled it to him, his first words were still, shut the fuck up.
Right. So he didn't believe you.
Yeah, until it actually happened, he still had to have an inkling of it. Like, Steve didn't tell me that we're doing this.
Yeah.
So, like, I could have just been working him the entire time, and JP comes out like, yeah, we're wrestling, peace, and that's it. He goes, eats a cookie, and that's the match.
So jump back and look at Ed. Like, what after I line him from behind, watch how after he bumps.
My guess is Ed did not know how to sell. I was very happy for Steve.
Okay, so now watch how he freezes. Watch, here we go.
Nothing.
I don't know.
I will never forget that. I was like,
I have no idea why I did that.
Dominic's cheesing his fuck.
probably because you were freaking out. You didn't know.
Yep.
I was very happy for you.
That was a great moment to start.
Yeah.
To start the cool things that we did.
Oh wait, I
BYS
just straight up
going
wrestled
forward.
Beast Snow?
Yeah. There was a plan to this, and initially you were supposed to wrestle Jason Fierce. He was supposed to come to this show.
I have now remembered something about this,
Yep,
and this is why me and Brandon never connected, is because I felt some anxieties about planning this match.
Yeah.
And he just didn't really want to plan a match from what I can remember. He was kind of cool with like going with the flow. I think he maybe wanted me to take the lead and I wanted him to take the lead.
Right.
And neither of us were willing to do that. So like I was a little nervous and like I don't know, I just never became besties with him because
That's
of that.
Brandon in a nutshell right there.
Wait, so none of this was really planned then?
No, it was very like just like look how I take this. I don't even know what he's doing.
Right.
Like,
You're just at his mercy.
Yeah.
I remember being so
shit.
stressed the night before that I ended up leaving the house.
Oh wait, is this another Quinn?
So Brandon says,
Do
Of
not
course.
try this at home.
of course you can't do this. Like, you're not Beast Snow. If you were Beast Snow, you'd be able to do this, right? So because I'm Beast Snow, I'll show you what this move is supposed to look like.
Wah, wah, wah.
No, he will.
God!
I may have saved his life.
Yeah.
We forgot to put a mattress spring on that part of the base.
Oh, here we go. Another
guess.
one? I really
Oh,
did not care.
damn.
That was more distance. Oh, I'm going to die here.
I just remembered also I was so
Okay.
stressed about this, and I didn't, because they were staying with me.
That has to end.
And I'm like, I don't want them to know
Right.
that
Good shit. Good shit,
JP,
man.
I gave JP my gear the night before, so they didn't see me leave with my gear.
Uh-huh.
So it was already in his car.
Oh, I love this interaction because I'm all grumpy
Yeah.
and I just won my match and I'm like, you can't say shit to me.
Steve says something in here along the lines of, like, you're the one that was hitting me up to wrestle and you weren't doing anything about it.
Which wasn't true.
Okay, but see, I felt like it had a basis in reality. Because I remember talking to Dominic a lot about him coming back to wrestle, and in my head, I'm thinking that you're talking, like, I'm talking to Dominic, so Dominic's talking to Steve, saying, when are we going to wrestle, you know?
Yeah.
Nope. The whole idea was was doing the renaming gimmick, and I think I probably asked you what you wanted to be, like what. Okay, well we need to do something like temporary that's not Mad Dog, and you were doing the time well wasted thing.
Yeah, you called him Waste, and I thought you said Wasted, I guess, so I just made it Wasted.
I think it was wasted.
You called him Waste there. You
Okay.
said if Waste wants to.
Maybe, but the idea was.
Maybe it changed.
So you wanted that, and then we also wanted to tie into the fact that this is Sean Phoenix and Mad Dog, face to face again after all these
Yeah.
years. So there's a little bit of animosity that
This caught me off guard a little bit.
unresolved.
Yeah, when you did that, I didn't necessarily know what you were going to do because we were still shooting. So I was like, oh, I got to fall back.
There's no way we were
Wait,
shooting, 'cause
Brandon's
that was the
gimmick's
whole
in the-
plan.
Well, no, just like the way you
CTK2?
tackled. I
We'll
wasn't
see.
ready.
So
He
yeah,
likes them, though.
so that was the whole thing. It's kind of like you wanted to join the group, but you haven't proved yourself yet,
Yes.
and
I remember.
I was still getting, but that was just you came up with I think you wanted to do something time well wasted related.
It makes sense.
So.
I mean, it would
And then I
draw me
kinda-
back in.
Kind of came into, well, what story can I say that the name Wasted Waste makes sense?
Yeah.
It has to, so it came, you were wasting time just waiting for this to happen when you could have did something.
Yeah, I like that. It actually makes sense and it correlates.
Does anybody else think Beast Snow looks like Steve from Blue's Clues?
He kind of does a little bit.
Jesus! So that flew under the radar, that bump right there.
I agree.
Yeah, because there could be nails.
There were
and-
yeah.
I booked this match because these were my dudes, dude.
When
I
did
love
Quinn-
seeing them work.
Yeah, he bumped out like a champ.
That was amazing.
Like I said on the last episode, dude, Quinn showed up whenever he needed to show up.
Yeah.
Like, he always did the thing.
I don't think I knew about that right there, and I was like, really oh no, what are they doing? Because like you were like, what's going on between you two? And like Quinn was like, yeah, they've been with me for I've been with them for a long time. That's where it lies. And then like he was like, sorry about that, and he goes to like shake your hand, and I was like, I think I legitimately yelled out, don't fucking shake his hand.
To Quinn, yeah.
Because he
and
was
then-
like potentially ruining the
yeah,
whole angle.
Don't worry, I knew.
Yeah, I was like, what are you doing?
Right,
Like,
I knew.
Not that, necessarily like he had to clear everything with me.
I feel you.
But
No,
I was
I
just
know.
like, I was so stressed this week.
Why are you wrestling Lil Ryder at the Super Show?
I wrestled Lil Ryder on this day because I was gonna wrestle Zayn, and then DC Doom broke my neck, and then I was talked into having Zayn wrestle FX.
Oh, fuck, I remember
And
that.
that was why. And like, I
you
remember
say that.
the idea.
That was a big thing, wasn't it?
I was not happy.
Wait, was that
it made
you?
sense, but I wasn't happy about it.
So-
Did you want that to happen,
No,
Steve?
it was a bunch of scenarios happening where I saw that I was like, Rick, you could wrestle him at sloppy seconds, and when your neck feels better.
Yeah,
And that was legit.
never felt that.
In hindsight,
Right.
obviously,
Right.
right?
I remember it was the Ground Zero. Low Rider took a bump on plywood by the stage.
Yes,
and
he
then
did.
he slid down and freaking a nail got him.
Yep,
Oh my
that was
gosh.
against Dominic. Yeah,
Was it? I just watched it recently.
yeah. So I was gonna wrestle Zayn and I didn't.
Whoa, that's our real reaction.
At least she has angles.
Yeah, good
Hey,
angles.
come on.
Yita. Bro, that says Yeti.
But there's Zayn showing up in Pittsburgh for the first time.
Second.
Second time.
Ever?
Yeah.
And it's funny
It's
because
a cool little effect.
for Zayn was like constantly known for like no showing shows. Like he would always end up like getting arrested or just like not taken seriously. And like so it was a big deal to like get him to come the first time.
Yep.
You know, and during that first time actually was also BYW week, which was essentially like the biggest week in backyard
Yeah,
wrestling.
right.
And he came to us, which means a lot to me. Nothing but
Is it a tag
Wait,
team match?
when Zayn was in Pittsburgh wrestling you and I wrestled you, that was Backyard Week?
That was Backyard Wrestling Week.
Damn. Okay, so
Why you don't get better bookings, kid?
Well, I missed it. I want to see it again.
Run that back.
I didn't realize you knew who that was. That was great.
this ended up being a series
Sound like Mackenzie's
that
brother.
I threw on my YouTube and called Shadow Dies, and this happened very often. Very often. It was like 4 or 5 volumes by the time it finished. Here it is right here. You guys powerbomb old JP.
A one-arm powerbomb. That's
Which looks sick, by the way.
Hey, he sold it. He stayed down.
the
maybe
replay
not by
is just brutal.
Quinn is just, oh my God.
You're intentionally trying to hurt each other. Once someone gets hurt, it's like, uh-oh. There's some
Perfect
flips.
shooting star press from JP.
Yeah.
Two
And
things
your
he
neck
could do
bumps,
is,
dude.
yeah,
They were good.
shooting star press and neck bumps are 2 things JP could fuck with.
Ragdolling it.
And jumping off
And
the houses.
bitches.
James Nutter and Adrian Grimm. What?
I'm sorry, Nutter. So honestly, I feel like the worst person that I ever could have booked someone with was Derek. Like, he was just so not good. He just couldn't get it no matter how many times he wrestled.
Yeah.
So
he's-
Nutter came in and got Jimmy P.
Yep.
and Adrian Grimm.
Yep.
All right.
Who was in the
Surprised he
middle?
came back, huh?
Who was day 2 again? I already forget.
Oh, this has got to be good if they're
Jimmy
wrestling
P.
each other.
Hey, he
That
just
was
said,
day 1. That was
yeah.
there was
Yeah.
He must not have been here on day 2.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm thinking.
I probably loved every second of this match when it happened.
Brother versus brother is always good.
That's a good dude.
Yep.
Love Scott. I ran into him a couple of years.
Years later, at Cooper's Rock of all places.
Damn.
Nice.
I don't think I'd recognize him today.
Oh, well, this was like 5 years ago, but he looked like that, like the same.
Really?
Once you get to be like 30,
Right.
you don't
Yeah.
really age too much.
Wait, was he 30 at this
I don't
point?
know, just-
He kind of looks older than
he
everyone.
was
but
definitely older.
Maybe
than,
that's the person that Cody Jacobs wanted to take care of all this shit.
He was older than us and was very insecure about that because he didn't want people to be like, oh yeah, the grown man playing with underage kids in the
I
field.
probably shouldn't have
He had
hugged
a
him
big
so
boy
much.
job at the time
Yeah,
too, didn't he?
probably,
Wasn't he a
probably.
banker or something? Maybe?
Probably, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm making that up. I think he's a banker somewhere out there.
Look at that. Oh, again?
I think that's why he always wanted to wrestle his brother because he knew that like he had that scapegoat of like, no, I'm not wrestling kids I don't know. I'm wrestling my brother. This isn't weird.
Right.
Which is true. It's not. But he was just so insecure and in his own
Tears their
head.
mother's heart apart.
Right.
And FX.
Yeah.
FX versus Zayn.
That's how much we liked him this weekend.
We loved him.
This was pre-made, I'm
Shout
assuming.
him out.
I mean, I still
Well,
like him,
also,
but I didn't know.
there's a
I didn't
match
know others
missing.
didn't.
He just got a big head, I guess.
There's a match missing?
There's a match
It is
missing
large.
on this show.
What
It
is
is
it?
large.
It would be
in size.
FX versus Josh.
He's so intelligent.
FX versus Josh happened on this show.
Did? Yep.
Why and why was it not on the video?
I don't know why, but that was Josh's introduction to CTK.
Maybe it wasn't allowed to be on the internet.
I don't know why. I don't
No, because
remember.
the other ones were.
Yeah, the other ones were.
But I think there must have been something wrong with the camera or something like that. But I specifically remember FX wrestling multiple times and thinking like, oh, this is cool. They don't take it as seriously as we did in ESW. They'll like wrestle like twice in one show. And I thought that was the norm. But I then learned that was just an FX thing.
Oh, okay.
Like, because this is my first super show in this era.
Yeah.
That he was like, because he was booked against Josh. But we, because because you'll notice Josh hasn't wrestled yet.
Right? Yeah.
That
Yeah.
match
Absolutely.
must-
If we had if we had the knowledge that we like did at the end of like knowing everybody's talents and stuff, no offense to FX, but I don't think this match should have happened. It could have been somebody way better.
Because he showed up with cool-looking tights and kick pads, everybody put him over.
Yeah, you looked the part.
Like,
I'd rather see Brandon versus Zane. I'd
Yeah.
rather see Eric versus Zane. I'd rather see JP versus Zane.
I think the thing with FX was that when you watch him one time, you're like, wow, that dude's good. But then you watch him 2 times, 3
And it's
times,
the same
and
shit.
it's the same
Yeah, he
exact
looks
match.
So
Yeah.
true.
Well, keep
So
in mind-
fucking true.
Keep in mind, Eddie, you're also viewing this as a whole timeline thing. Think about
No, I understand. Like
Think
at
about,
the
like,
moment,
at the time,
yeah, this was
who,
like a
you know,
good idea at the
yeah,
moment. That's
it's
why I
like-
said like in hindsight.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I
for
mean?
sure.
I remember this.
He had this thing. This is why we all liked him.
honestly,
I filmed that.
I liked him.
That's awesome.
Great angle.
Yeah,
I liked him because he had like trademark moves that he called out, and like that was memorable. And I was like, that's great. The God's
sick.
hand. He had the face fuck. He had the
Monkey punch or something.
Yep.
yeah. And like that was cool. I'm like,
He
this-
was doing
okay.
it right. He was doing it right.
Yeah, he definitely had. He had potential. Like I mean, like, and I've wrestled him on the Indies a couple times, and I found out he's kind of a big piece of shit. But that's for another day.
Yep.
So he definitely, his head was in the right place. Let's put it that way. He had,
Yeah, like at the time.
Yeah, the
like
idea.
He was taking the right steps.
Right. I feel you.
To be bigger, but however, the way he was doing it, we quickly learned was not the best way to do that. you
Yeah.
know, with just like the politicking and stuff like that. Alex told me that when they were planning the match,
Good roughing.
that it was just like, all right, well, who's going over, and then like it'd go. See now, Josh, you're with us now
Yeah.
because your match was not included. And maybe you rushed to get the camera because you knew Alex was wrestling Rick. Like maybe it died or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I remember specifically. Yeah.
I remember being really nervous for this match, and I remember very vividly me and you practicing the fucking.
Hail Omega.
Yeah, Hail Omega.
Beautifully. I remember I
Yeah,
healed you in the eye, and I felt
Yeah, the
so
first time.
bad.
Yeah, I remember that you kicked me in the
Felt
face.
So bad. The moment whenever I corkscrewed and caught you.
Yeah.
I remember that
nerve
move.
level 1 to 10 coming out.
Oh, dude, fucking 10 for sure.
What was the question?
What made you most nervous?
Just fucking Steve's first match back and being the
Just
big
like
main
the-
event of the whole fucking
All eyes
show.
on
Like,
you,
yeah,
that type of thing?
if this match sucked, it could have really put a bad taste in Steve's mouth. Yeah, could have,
Well, there was there was also a reason why I wanted to wrestle you more so than just the storyline with Rick. You know, I could have easily picked Jimmy P. I could have
Right.
picked Deke the Freak, but I recognize your athleticism, and you I believe I even called you like you are the hidden gem of SWC. Like
I thought it was because you
Wasn't
hated
too hidden,
gingers.
by the way.
what's that?
It wasn't really hidden.
Well, I mean, that's how I felt at the time. Was
Yeah.
like we need to.
that was your idea, right? The double ninja kick. Yeah.
And I wanted you to hit me in the face.
Yeah, I
as a
remember that.
receipt.
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh my god. So good.
Yeah, weren't you like kick the fucking shit
Yeah, I was
out
like,
of me?
well, it made sense because like we were doing the same moves, so the babyface should one up the heel.
Yeah.
Ed was so good.
Look at Fack, he didn't want to get involved. But he
Oh,
was
I
like,
love this.
Yeah, this is crazy. This whole sequence.
And I just got a tattoo the day, like a couple days.
Yeah, I
before.
remember that.
Oh god.
Oh fuck! I forgot about this.
Jesus
Bro.
Christ,
Dude.
And it couldn't have been better. It was.
I got
perfect.
lucky.
No, you did it perfectly because you were good.
And I
Yeah.
called this on the fly, and it actually hurt you more than it hurt me. Watch your
Yeah.
elbow.
I love this.
I
That
love
is-
it too.
yeah.
Right? It's so good.
That is.
This
so-
match
with
is
the
fucking
chair up.
sick.
Thank you.
Steve's selling this, setting up the chair and slipping,
Yep, one of my heroes.
and he's like slipping,
chair?
like no
Yeah,
feet
yeah.
at all.
The chair.
And then as soon as they do the move, he like finds footing.
It was like super wet too.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I
because
was
of the
not.
day 2 tornado.
I was not confident that you guys were gonna land on the.
Yeah, me either. I don't think. It looked good though.
Yeah, I got the job done.
Yeah.
Now, I wish, in hindsight, there's so much I would have done differently. not necessarily like, oh, that was bad, but like, why am I countering? I just took a Canadian destroyer on a chair.
Yeah,
How
no,
am
you're
I
fucking,
countering you?
yeah.
Now, maybe in the full there was something else, but just in hindsight.
Oh, this is the RKO.
That was sick.
Yeah, that,
Yeah.
yeah,
That
that
was
was
sick.
sweet.
Good take.
Yeah, that was a good
Okay,
bump.
this is when I come in.
Oh,
Look
shit.
at how I swing on him. Just watch. Whenever he goes to the ground. Watch when we go to the ground, though. It is like uncanny.
Good.
And whenever we get in that big fight at the end, you come after me and you go, "This is for fucking me up." It was awesome, dude. That's when we became friends, I think. That was like a moment.
So the idea was now Mad Dog had proven himself to be in CTK, and then he had wrestled B Snow, which once again that was supposed to be Jason Fierce, because Jason and Steve and I got pretty close at the time, and he couldn't make it, so really we'll just throw in Snow, and then Snow made the save, but turns out he was also joining.
Yeah, watch yourself.
I
guys.
forgot about this. This is awesome.
Watch when you find me.
I don't know who was on our team. I'm
Right here.
Brandon's pulling me off of you.
Yeah, you were like,
No, I would.
I never realized that, Josh. Holy shit.
That's awesome.
Also,
Oh, James with his big
Also-
fucking flying punch.
Go back, Rick, to the beginning of this, and I noticed.
Oh, this is when Eric gets shit on.
Yes.
I hate you.
Oh,
I said,
okay, go back more. Okay, now watch FX. He wants to be involved so badly, he starts to run, but then hesitates. Watch.
Yeah, he's just standing there.
he has no idea what's going on.
And he's like, oh, never mind. And then that's kind of the
Me and Zane are slapboxing like idiots in the back, and then Quinn's on me now.
Wait, do they jump you to set up you and Steve's
Yeah.
match? Okay. They say he just
Damn,
fucking...
that was insane.
Because I was being held up, and I said FSWC and F
So
you,
clean.
Sid Rick, and that's
Okay.
started.
Backflip spear.
Yeah, I don't even know why I did
Quinn's
that.
mad at me.
Oh, he
Everybody's
actually...
just
That was
mad
a
at
nice
me.
moonsault.
Look at
clean.
That was sick.
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
Oh, that looked like it hurt.
Here's
Then
DC Doom.
like, why did he get involved? I don't know.
Was he in CTK?
No.
I just wanted to flip over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's the
And then why not a curb stomp, right, Ed? Like, just after my whole life of getting curb stomped.
Thanks for 3 days of awesomeness.
My
Fuck you.
Shane just annihilates your face.
I also want to point out that of everybody other than my brother Eric, did anybody notice who was not involved in that?
Who didn't do a move?
I mean, from CTK,
You.
me,
Oh, yeah, right.
because that was the idea.
We hadn't touched.
Shit.
I was also using you guys to fight my battles.
Yep.
And then hide behind you. So I would instigate the fight and make my soldiers do the fighting as the general
Yeah.
retreated, which would lead into PYS2.
A little mutiny.
We did it. Wow. I was so involved and had no clue. Hell yeah. That was a moment.
CTK is back. And that was the end of BYS1, which I love it. I love it. It's one of my favorite things that I ever got to do with my life. Going back there on day one and seeing that yellow tent back there that wasn't mine.
That was Casey Snyder's.
Yeah, so she showed up with a camera too, right? Yeah, and she added so much to the show just by her existence, just with the camera being there and the tent, and it's like, this feels bigger than it ever has before. And everybody's coming to town, and every single person, like the staggered entrance of the guests in hindsight was really fucking cool.
That
Like
is
first
cool,
me
yeah.
and Ed are back there, and then you guys start to show up, and then KPW shows up, and then the Ohio crew shows up, and then by the end of the week Zane and
yeah.
and it's just
It's
like,
cool. I never looked at it like that.
right, and it would like in hindsight, it was exactly what it needed to be, especially for the first time that we ever tried to do this. Like we wanted to be an ESW Super Show. We wanted to be BYG or BYE or whatever. Like specifically Abyss 2, which is mine and Ed's favorite show of all time. Like fuck, that's what we were trying to accomplish, and we knew that we probably weren't going to do that the first one. But if you give us a couple of chances, like you
I
might
remember
be surprised at what
specifically,
we pull off.
You had told me that this was your idea to do this, and I remember thinking, because we were talking about this, and you went to JS2, and you were like, okay, well, we're going to do this. And I remember specifically thinking, and I remember telling you, Lee Andrews tried to book a show, and nobody showed up.
Yep.
And I was like, with no disrespect to you, it's like I was under the impression that you were going to invite Lincoln guys, like Tommy Flambeau, like those people. And I'm like, man, like I don't know if they're going to be willing to come to these.
But that was not a thing, right? We didn't even think about that.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. I didn't realize that there was this whole other world that I was missing out on.
But that was the smart way to go. Like that was perfect.
Yeah.
Right.
And it turned into, like we just said earlier, the new age of backyard wrestling.
Yep. But the week was not over.
It wasn't. And this is actually, I think, the best wrestling music video that came out, like, of this whole thing. Like, all the other stuff was cool. It was good shit that we were doing. Sloppy Seconds is that jam, man. It has my favorite spot that I ever saw in person.
So this was...
Is this unsanctioned?
Yeah, this is unsanctioned number 3.
So this... where essentially we had Justin and Alex. Justin had flown in for my graduation, and I want to say this may have been the day after our graduation, our being me, Dom, and JP. And I was talking about Justin wrestling, and he's like, "Who would I wrestle? I won't even know anyone." And I was like, "Well, you could wrestle Zayn," and like, 'cause that's always been a match that I've wanted to see. Well, at least since Midwest Fest. Two of my best friends, 2 different styles going at it. And I was like, we could do this now. And then it was just kind of, I remember the day was literally, okay, who wants to wrestle? It's kind of a book yourself, because I also wanted to wrestle Justin. And I remember a lot of us wrestled twice.
Yep, pretty much all of us.
Yep. Well, like, the people that really cared wrestled twice.
Right.
Like Dream and Animal didn't wrestle twice.
No.
JP, did you wrestle twice?
I have no idea.
It's funny because, like, this is essentially a non-canon show. As I remember it.
Yeah, it's not like official or anything.
No, because we had CTK wrestling each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like right in front of the red button that you hit.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
That's African American.
And now hit the red button. You're right. I thought it had a white logo on it. Yep.
Nobody's gonna know what just happened.
Black button again.
Dude, I remember watching Zayn and Yakuza J though, and I was like, "Damn, dude! Like this is happening on our base."
I have to restart. I'm sorry.
What's wrong?
Yeah.
I only heard part of it too, so I like.
Oh man.
From where?
It was pretty crazy to me and Ed that fucking.
Sorry.
You're good. That like not only were these people here, but we were getting to see like Zayn versus Yakuza J at our crib. Like
it was awesome.
And Ed didn't even wrestle this day.
No.
Is that Jay? When did Jay get there?
Jay he probably showed up that day because Justin was in town.
Yeah.
I always like this video because you got Smooth Criminal.
I knew. Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson literally died this day, I think.
Really?
Yeah, June 25th, 2009. Not to date it. But
yeah,
I remember you were in a bad mood this day. Like you
look at his face.
Yeah, like you were in a bad mood.
I'm pretty sure that was a receipt for something.
Probably. but like there wasn't anything like
this best spot ever.
Oh my god!
Insane,
fuck yes. Dude.
That's awesome.
What do you do about that?
Live, like,
when that happens right in front of your face, you can just quit watching wrestling from that point forward.
That was amazing.
And then
I know.
And then Steve stole our spot again.
That was Justin's idea.
Well, he stole our spot.
What am I gonna say? I'm not gonna say no to him.
I understand.
You were throwing kicks hard. No, Rick, those back of the head kicks, they were nasty.
Yeah, bro. Nutter liked to fight though, particularly.
That's fair.
Ugh.
That was very clean too. Ashes.
Yep.
Did you still call it that?
I still do.
Okay.
To this day.
Hell yeah.
Oh, onto your face.
How'd that feel, Eric?
It sucked. He said flip on faces, and I'm like, you're going to do what? And then he landed on my face.
I don't know if it happened yet, but at one point, JP, I told you to like hit my head off the table. We were going to like the finish, and I remember like I like specifically like hit my head, and you were like, why the fuck would you do that? And you could see like it cuts out just so quickly, but you could literally watch you shrug. I don't know if we missed it, but
I've watched a lot of Zayn matches, and every time he goes to kick somebody and they flip him backwards, he dies. So I was like, I want to flip it and just have you land and like just do something to me.
love it.
Dude, Justin is so strong.
So strong. Probably No, I wouldn't even say probably. He's the best base in backyard wrestling history.
I thought we had the best base himself.
Oh, you win.
That was insane. That was sick.
The
So
only
was that.
The only person I know that could possibly have a bad match with Yakuza J is Deke the Freak. Everybody else is pulling out 4.5 stars.
I don't know. I feel like the idea of Justin getting mad and lighting him up would be
man.
very entertaining. No, I'm just saying, like,
The
I can see
idea of
that
it?
happening.
That would be entertaining.
No.
Is Justin still wrestling?
No, he's a dad. Love him.
Oh, hell yeah.
That was sick, too.
Literally got knocked off the base. I remember Jay putting on my fishnet and was like, yeah, never get to wear this. And then we did the group picture. And he's like, no, everyone's going to see me wearing a fishnet. And then when the video came out, you can clearly see him wearing it. He's like, God damn it. That's the reverse Canadian destroyer.
That was sick.
Apparently, you had thought of that a long time
Long
ago.
time ago, yeah.
That was sick.
Yes, he did.
Dude, it's so clean. The
Which
accuracy of Alex's flips are
Yes.
ridiculous.
They're perfect.
They even had a backup spot planned in case he impaled himself, like went into the tires. So if he was completely upside down in the tires, Justin was going to do a running cross body to the tires.
My God.
That would have been so cool. Ugh.
That was sick. Eric, how nervous were you for this match?
I
Probably
was
1
I
to
was still
10.
dead. Like, dude, honestly, it was a 5. Like, it was really.
See, right there,
You
watch,
just didn't
watch.
give a fuck.
You're like,
You were
why
so
would you
beat.
do that?
I was really beat up, but also it was like, so day 4, I was tired. All the shit had been going on for a week.
Oh my god!
I wasn't a fan of wrestling in front of Chewy.
Your face when you come up from hitting the ground, bless your heart.
Why is that?
Go back.
Because of the judging?
Yeah.
Go back to the Chewy almost dying.
And how did your back get fucked up when you
No,
did the
I remember he
Hurricane Rana?
squished my stomach, but it wasn't too bad.
That's good.
And it's funny because so the reason why that spot happened was because Justin loves the idea of reverse Ranas, but every time he tried it, they would get fucked up until BYT, like specifically, that was supposed to be the finish of his day 1 match. And it got all messed up. Loco will tell you what it was him versus Loco. And then after the match, he was like, I want you to do a reverse Rana.
Oh.
And I did it beautifully to him. So then he realized. Your face. So then Justin realized that he can only take reverse Ranas from me.
So you wanted to
He wanted
do
to like,
it.
like
I have
scratch that
to do
itch.
it.
Yeah. And then I think I may have said, oh, we actually just did that spot. And then I showed him it because it had been enough time. And he was like, why don't we just do the same spot? And I was like, all right. I'm not going to say no.
Yeah, exactly. No, I feel you.
And then he wanted me to give him look at that. What was that?
That was sweet.
That was called the Burning End. That was a taco grip burning hammer.
Cutthroat burning hammer. I dig it.
I remember for the finish, he wanted me to do a double knee to the face. And I was like, abso-fucking-lutely not. Look at your moonsault!
Hell yeah, Ricky.
That was on the fly, bro. Our match was supposed to be
Pretty
over, and I didn't
Ricky
know what
right
else
there.
to do. With a broken neck.
Jeez, yeah, why would you do that?
I didn't know. Dude, I was fucked.
Instead of going to the doctors, he's like, I'm just going to get it back to where it was.
I was so fucked, dude. The only thing I knew was that there was another wrestling show.
So I bitched out. I did 1. I'm like, I'm not doing that to you. Like, I appreciate that, but no.
Sloppy.
So
Yeah.
I bitched out. Yeah, I'm like, I'm not gonna.
It still looked good, though.
Yeah.
A couple things. You were talking about how Chewy's reverse Rana taking, he could only take it from you. Whenever you and I ended up wrestling him and Scott, and you and Chewy are talking like, let's do a reverse Rana spot. You get up on my
Scott.
shoulders, go, and Scott's like, buddy, your batting average isn't very high on that one. You
Yeah,
sure you
yeah.
want to try and hit that?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, we're not doing it. And we're just going to set up for it.
But that's why we did that, because
Right.
he knew that I could do. And like, it's funny because at BYT, when he told me to do that, I was like, all right, I'd never done one before. I just went up there and I went, all right. And
Yeah.
like, I wasn't gonna tell him, I've never done that before.
Right.
You know, I'm just like, all right, cool. I'm just gonna do it.
Fuck it.
Which, if somebody did that to me today, I'd be like, absolutely not. Like, why would you risk that? But
Point. So that was Sloppy Seconds. That was actually the best wrestling that happened throughout that whole week, but it didn't feel as big as BYS itself. There wasn't as many people.
no, because it
there.
wasn't canon. It
Right,
was just
exactly.
to scratch that itch. Because
Yeah.
now I wanted to kind of work off the rust.
Uh-huh.
Because I just wrestled once, and you know.
And working off the rust all of us did from this point forward, because we just were in fucking go mode. Like, as soon as BYS 1 was over with, it was like, when's the next show? Who am I wrestling? What are we doing? And like, we dive into ground zeros for the whole rest of the summer. We end up getting all the way up to 20 by the end of the year.
Wow.
And it was to the point where we were doing at least one every 7 days, and sometimes two. And music videos were coming out the day after the show happened. And it was just manufacturing stuff. And we'd still be on the road hitting up super shows, coming back and planning all the shit that got us to the next BYS, right?
It's literally what we lived for at the time, I would say.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
at this point, Dom, you were the only. You went to Clarion, right?
Yeah,
JP
I literally was just thinking about
JP
that.
and I went to Bradford. That
in
was still in.
California.
You did, yeah.
That was still in Pittsburgh.
Bradford
Yeah.
youth students.
Yeah.
That's right.
And
Oh, yeah, that's how that happened.
you were still at Dice.
Yeah.
At this point, I don't think I had a job. Did you have a job at this point?
I think I worked at the pizza stop.
I don't think at that point.
Hasn't been the same since you left. It's been better. No.
Yeah, so like literally at that point, it was.
Just
did you
kidding.
guys have a job or anything?
I quit my job to wrestle Ed at Lenny Bud Memorial.
I think I was at the restaurant at this time. I don't remember.
I started at the pizza stop at the end of 09, early 2010.
Do any of you have jobs now?
No.
No, I have a career.
I just do the job, brother.
Yeah.
My job is 40 hours a week on this fucking podcast, and I'm gonna have to edit for 2.5 months to get all this bullshit out of it.
A lot of
Yeah, we're only at
bullshit.
2.5 hours. That's a long
If it's any
movie.
consolation, I watch the episodes at work, so I get paid to watch this.
that's
so
beautiful.
we can't get mad at that.
Right.
Nice.
Absolutely.
That's a win.
Yeah. But so anything to take away from BYS1 that week? Any thing we didn't touch on? Anything we would have liked to have changed other than bookings and stuff? Any?
I wish that I was nicer to Shadow and let him main event all 3 days, so that he felt better as a person to this point in his life.
I mean that's you should have.
Yeah,
That sounds right.
If the way that I booked him that weekend affected him that much, I wish that I would have done something better about it. But aside from that, no, I love everything.
Ed, how did you feel after our match? You stated that you were very nervous going into this because of the pressure. How was it afterwards?
It was a big relief, and I was very, very, very happy with it. It was probably my favorite match up to that. At that point,
Yeah.
that was my favorite
I
match.
appreciate that. I remember being really, really obviously, I've said I was stressed this whole time, but I want to say I was probably on the verge of throwing up before our match. I distinctly remember leaning down, almost in a fetal position, before we were getting ready to go, just trying to calm myself down.
Yeah.
Now, question, was that because you were nervous to put on a good match, or because this is where I get nervous, were you going into those spots, do you ever get freaked out that something might happen?
No, I never really considered my safety until I fractured my skull in 2018.
That's fair. So you were actually more nervous about performing.
I was not just that, but also the stigma that Josh and I would face if we found out. I was under the perception that if any pro in the area found this footage, I would throw any chance of getting, completing my training and going pro. So I was really feeling like I was gambling with my life at this, it obviously didn't turn out to be the case.
I mean, if it's the thing that you love to do the most and you're doing it in this setting, you kind of are. It might sound like, as we talk about wrestling, it might sound silly to some people who would be watching this if they didn't like wrestling. But
Right, especially this far
You
into
still
it.
wrestle.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it makes sense that you cared that much.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also, wasn't necessarily, I had wrestled in front of people, dozens of times with ESW and stuff, and out of control the first, and the second time, I worked with both of you, that was in front of a crowd. And we got used to that pretty quickly. JP, you and I wrestled you at HWC, or Rise to Honor, in front of a crowd. So even just you guys alone, it kind of conditioned me to this. And I said, in the first episode, everything I did in Backyard was to get me ready. But so it wasn't necessarily that. It was, can I live up to the hype that I'm trying to convey, so to speak?
There's a reason you guys are wrestling, so let's give the reason.
Right, and at this point, I want to say it would have been the first time main eventing I definitely didn't main event any ESW shows.
Right.
So now having to live up to that hype of, can I main event a show? do I deserve this? Just all the thoughts swirling around kind of created the perfect storm of anxiety. But I want to say I remember the feeling, Josh, and I think I asked you for Out of Control when we walked through the curtain. Do you remember that moment at the first Out of Control? I asked you how that felt, and you said that you got chills every time, and I was like, so did I. Maybe it was you. I remember asking one of you. Maybe it was Out of Control too.
Yeah, probably. Because
I
remember we wrestled each other.
Yeah, and then I wrestled 4 times that day, and I remember saying, like, I felt that every time I went out there. And I think I felt that at that moment as well. Like, once I went through that curtain, it was like I got the chills, and it was like, it's go time. I'm no longer Steve Schneider. I'm playing this character.
And you nailed it. You fucking knocked that shit out of the park, because visually, you look like the guy that was too cool for school that was there to beat up the redhead kid that didn't really know how to wrestle yet. Like, that's what you were portraying in a great way, like in a wrestling way, And the coolest thing about that is Ed was on this crazy upswing at the time where it's like he was having good matches. We start 2009, boom, Adrian Grimm match. And it's like, oh, that was really good. Boom, Quinn death match. Oh, what the fuck is that? Boom, Lenny Bud Memorial. Holy shit, what is this redhead dude doing? BYS 1. Okay, like what? Like why? What? Where is the ceiling at? Where does it? Yeah, like where does it stop? How good does Ed really get? And none of us will ever know, because whenever he got to the point where I thought that he was like the fucking man, he decided to retire down to his dog Duke in his front porch.
I was gonna ask a question. Are we trying to wrap up, or we got time?
I mean, you can say some shit if you want to say
ultimately,
some shit.
what made you two guys decide not to go and be professional wrestlers?
Well,
or was that just never something you had the ambition to do after having all this fun? Does that make sense?
I tried out. Remember that powerhouse?
I know that you did. I know that you
was that CWF.
Yeah. I know that you
that
trained for a while.
That fucking ruined it for me.
Oh, really? That
just that asshole put such a bad taste in my mouth. I was done. Yeah. I'm like, I'd rather just do this fucking backyard shit for fun.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to be the guy that runs the shows. Like, I still do. But, like, I wanted to wrestle. I wanted to get better at wrestling because I was still a kid. Like, it was, my body was whatever. It doesn't matter. Yeah, right. Yeah, sure. Look at you. It's easy for you to say that, bus. But, yeah, it was like I wanted to really enjoy doing backyard wrestling and just finish all the stories that I could ever possibly start and essentially be a big fish in a small pond doing fun stuff creatively and traveling. And then at some point, whenever I had it was a really good match. I don't even remember which one it was, but something just turned off in my brain at that point, and I'm like, I did it. Like,
reached that plateau.
Yeah. And it was like I could have, I probably had better to get. And in fact, I had matches afterwards where I was probably a better wrestler than I was whenever I was having these really good matches, but I just didn't care as much anymore. It was just I did the thing. What else is there to do?
And I want to go on record and say that your growth as a backyard wrestler, whatever that means in the grand scheme of things, was phenomenal. And I'm sorry that other people didn't realize that. You got a lot of stuff here and there from the Northeast.
I started as the worst backyard wrestler anybody's ever seen in the history of time, and I ended up not bad at all.
It was your mind for it was exceptional. How quickly you picked it up once you started to.
It took my body longer to catch up.
But that's okay. You started to learn your limitations, but just the idea of how much you comprehended telling a story, so to speak. How quickly you got that. It's just insane, and it shows in your
the membrane.
Can we recreate the pose that you and Ed are doing in that picture?
What is that pose?
I just think it's
that one.
Get the fuck out of here, Josh.
Let's see it, boys.
I want a side by side. Strip down to your skivvy.
It's funny how Ed, you have more hair now than you did then, and Rick, you have more hair then than you do now.
Yep, facts.
I can't get the.
That's the only camera that's still on, guys. All right, guys, you know what? We've had a great episode here tonight. I'm Josh Todd.
Hey, you doing?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Welcome back.
Yeah,
welcome back.
Come on.
This will be the only episode we have with 6 people, I promise you. It was a little too much and amazing all at the same time.
Yeah,
fucking love it. But either way, I'm going to let Dominic end this episode by telling me his favorite type of cloud.
Wait a minute.
Golden Triangle Media out.